Disney this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the show.
I thought the Care Bear would be here, but I'm not. I don't know if she's going to make it in or not. She hasn't. She hasn't. No, she hasn't responded yet. I don't know what's going on. But you know
Well,
what? We'll go with what we got.
all right, we're live, dude. Welcome,
Oh,
everybody. I'm trying to introduce this. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we're going to discuss the Babadook 2014 today. Patrick's holding up the old Blu-ray there. I got it a few times. I watched it streaming on I think Hulu last night, and I got the second sight 4K set that I still haven't watched yet, but it was just easier to stream it when I was laying on my bed. But yeah, I guess looks like Mary's not going to join us, and we were going to have another guest who may or may not show up, but we got Patrick here from Have Cheetah Will View, and of course Jen from Jen. Is that just the name of your channel now? It's just Jen.
Just Jen. Why can't I be normal? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're pleased for that. And yeah, let's get into it. You want to just give our quick initial sort of impressions on this one? Patrick,
Sure.
You want to start us off?
Yeah. I know we did Jennifer Kent's first film, Nightingale, here on the IFC Midnight Show, and this is her debut, her feature film debut, and all I gotta say, this is a masterpiece, truly a masterpiece. I have a lot of words to say about it, but I'll leave it at that. But I was blown away with how good it was.
I would agree.
Jen, any further thoughts before we jump into it?
I totally agree with Patrick. I think this is a masterpiece, although I do find it interesting because as many people who love this film, I've heard just as many who say that it's boring and the kid's annoying and it's pointless and it's stupid. And I just have to kind of chew off my tongue when they're saying that. Remind everybody has their own opinion, but entitled to their own opinion. But I find that this is a very divisive movie. I agree with Patrick. I think it's a masterpiece too, but I do find it very interesting how divisive this film is, even all these years later.
I think it's dumb, stupid, and I hate it. No, I'm just kidding. I like it quite a bit. I saw it when it first came onto streaming. I'd never heard of it, and I just I'm gonna watch this movie, and I thought it was gonna totally suck. Based on the cover, I thought it was gonna be like some cheap entity in my house type of situation, and I was pretty much blown away from it. But I think a lot of people go into it having heard a lot of people really give it a lot of praise, so they go in with super high expectations, and maybe sometimes it doesn't quite meet them for them. This is also Jennifer Kent's feature debut, you know what I mean? And I think from that perspective as well, I thought it was really well executed.
Oh yeah, but then doing research for this this stream, one thing I did find out, and it totally made sense when I found this out. You know who she was a production assistant for before she started as a director, don't you?
Yeah,
it was Lars von Trier. Yeah,
Lars.
And it made sense. Sorry, it made so much sense after that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Lars von Trier. He's I'm not sure as far as a human being, but as far as a filmmaker go, he's definitely top echelon. I mean, he's really, really good.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And you can see, it's not a ripoff or anything, but I can see where she would have gotten some inspiration from him. You can kind of feel it has some of the feels, or at least to me, maybe I'm wrong.
Did you see the short film that this was based on?
Yes, The Monster. I did see that. I didn't see it. Now that was something new to me. I watched it in preparation for this stream. I did. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm glad she went on and made a longer thing and we got a little bit more deep dive, but it was a good premise. It needed more though.
Yeah. I'd never seen it until last night. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to watch it. I watched it some shitty version of it on YouTube, super poor resolution, but it was pretty good. I guess that was that was her first debut, that short. And it was definitely, the sort of rough draft for the Babadook, but of course the Babadook had really a lot more room to go into stuff and have a lot more nuance and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that she really added some more ideas to it, but it wasn't bad. And I could hear someone, if she hadn't done it, I could hear someone look at that and go, you could really do a lot with just what she did with the monster. You could really see, you know, I'm glad she went further.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. So the movie opens, I thought it opened up in like a pretty powerful way where she's like breathing heavy in the backseat of the car, looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we start with like a visually very interesting sort of representation of that car crash, and then followed with her sort of descending into her bed from the top view. It's like really interesting visually, I thought.
Do you think that was practical? I was trying to figure that out. I'm going like, because that was a great shot.
That was 100% practical.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I imagine there's no. I mean, especially back in 2014 to do like a convincing CGI was more expensive back then to do something convincing for a small. This was a very small budget movie, you know, $1 million.
And you know it. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Oh no, go on.
I was just going to say, and you know, it bombed initially in Australia. It bombed pretty hard. It kind of got it was one of those movies that got, after people started viewing it, and word of mouth is what really helped this movie. But it initially bombed in Australia when it first premiered.
Just did it bomb only in Australia, or was it like just during its first like initial release in general?
It didn't do great. Release. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it got initially they made it for $2 million. Came out, like you said, it didn't do very well, but it got shown internationally, and it made its money 5 times over. It made over $10 million. I'm sure it made over that as well. And of course, you know, the home sales, you know, it got elevated to a cult classic pretty quick. I mean, when I signed on to the Tube, I mean, I had heard about the Babadook even before I had joined the Tube. I had already heard about it, and you know, by reading different magazines and whatnot, and it was already considered like a cult classic within 4 years of its release.
Yeah, and a gay icon as well. Later on,
that was interesting how that happened, because I'm you know, I'm not inside Jennifer Kent's head, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't her intention or anything. But I know she was like very pleased that it sort of found some new legs, like further down the road.
Yeah, it wasn't her intention. Sorry, go ahead, Patrick.
How did it become a gay icon movie? Was it the Babadook itself?
2 things happened. One is Netflix made a boo-boo and put it under their LGBTQ plus category. But before that, somebody on Reddit, just as a joke, said that he was a gay icon, you know, the top hat and everything else. And it started getting traction. And the interesting thing is some horror fans, not our kind of horror fans, but some other kind of toxic horror fans got really super pissed. The Babadook can't be gay, bro. That's nothing. And people were getting pissed that, you know, how dare, you know, it be a gay icon, or that it could be gay. And some toxic horror fans got really pissed. So
I tell you what, if this movie had come out during the AIDS crisis, I mean, they probably, imagine how many people would have been fucked up watching that movie back then. Just like it, you know, it's like this, you know, like today. I could definitely see it. You know, I could definitely see. You know, I don't know. I would want them to be seen as an icon as far as the Babadook is, because I wouldn't want anybody to look at it and like, yeah, and not realize what the Babadook really is, what it represents. It's representing horrible, terrific, complicated grief. That's what it's representing. I don't think everybody really wants to go and grab that as a shield, you know?
Possibly, but now it also represents queer culture. So, you know, I just want
more people to watch it, you know. So if that's what it takes for them to watch it, then by all means, you know. But I mean, I would just really hope that they would understand. You know, I don't want them to go and I would not want them to go into the movie expecting like a regular, you know, like Hereditary. You know, I wouldn't want them to think like that, like flat and uninspired. I wanted them to look at it like we're looking at it. Oh, sorry.
That's a
I
cool.
couldn't help but think about that movie, Ben. I couldn't
Yeah.
help but think about it. I'm going like, I'm watching this. I'm going like, I said, I'm going like, this is what everybody who loves Hereditary, this is the movie they need to see. This is what true supernatural horror could be and is, and that's, I don't know, that's just my way my brain was wired.
They're I've seen them both once or twice, and I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Hereditary. I think that movie is far superior, especially that also was a feature length debut, right, for Ari Aster.
Yeah.
Yep. It was.
They're apples and oranges a little bit, different.
Very
There's
much so.
different sensibilities. I don't know that I would classify it as flat and uninspired, but different strokes for different folks, I guess.
I've heard
I've
some
said
people
this.
though really love this movie.
I've said this. I said that if I would love to see Ari Aster make that movie now, today. I think if he made that movie today, it would be so different from what he made from the first movie. I think today the movie would really, because he learned so much, and I think it would, because I don't think he had a Lars Van Trier as far as a mentor goes, for one thing. This is what Jennifer Kent got, and it like Jen mentioned, it shows that look, he's put out 4 movies, she's put out 2. Which one would you take? But I think I do.
I take his films over her too.
Wow, I take hers in a heartbeat.
I mean, I think just even between Hereditary and Midsommar, he's got it locked. I wasn't a huge fan of Eddington, but I thought it was interesting enough,
Yeah, a lot of people won't.
And I'm
mixed on that one. I like my favorite is Midsummer, actually, of his. Mine is And We're the Johnsons.
That's the short though. That one is, I would say that one's better than Eddington in my opinion. That one's like truly unnerving and just like really bizarre.
Which one? Which was?
The Magnificent,
in the best way of the word.
Right? Is that what it's called? What was it called? Was it Magnificent?
We Are the Johnsons.
Is that his new movie?
For which one?
No, it was a short.
Oh, it's a short. Okay, because I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, We Are the Johnsons. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really, really weird, but good. Yeah. I would say I think my favorite's always going to be Hereditary. Midsommar.
You can watch it for free on YouTube if you want to, but it's not. Sorry, my internet's horrible. Sorry.
No, you should watch it on YouTube for free, Patrick. It's good.
No, I watched. I have a copy of. I have all of his movies, man.
No, I'm talking
how
about
that happened.
No, the short. His short.
Oh, the short. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
I have all of Ari Aster's 4 films.
Dude, you want to know some crazy shit? Now, Jen loves this movie, Last House on the Left, the original. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I still own like 5 or 6 copies of that son of a bitch somehow. So I don't know how that works.
It's only a movie, Ben, but it's only a movie.
What I keep telling myself. All right, so let's get back.
It's a good movie. The rape scene, though, Ben. Sorry.
No, what were you saying? You said it was a good movie, but what? What did you say, Jen? Can you hear me? Okay.
I just said I was talking about Last House on the Left, the rape scene. People even who hate that movie, the rape scene was brutal.
Yeah. I like the remake more than the original, I gotta say, which is probably a hot take for a lot of people.
A lot of people do.
But let's get back to the Babadook.
I've heard a lot of people say that, have that same opinion.
Yeah, I think the first Last House on the Left, tonally is a little bit everywhere. I liked it conceptually, but then the execution, I mean, it was like his first movie, right? So it was a little, you know, I guess you can't always knock it out of the park like a Jennifer Kent or an Ari Aster, you know. But yeah, so we start with that opening scene with the car crash.
I will agree with you on that. It's one of those.
So we start with that car accident, and then yeah, I guess we meet her son, and Patrick loved the son.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on that character?
I love the little boy. I thought he gave absolutely mind-boggling performance with the material. I mean, that was a great performance. And hats off again to Jennifer Kent for getting that performance from him. I mean, how old is he? 6 or 7 years old, and look what he did.
5.
I said, I can't think of another child actor that small doing this kind of work. I can't this type of movie. Sure, you see kids like this in kid family movies, sure, E.T. and whatever, but as far as the hell, I mean, I guess you could go back a little bit to maybe like Drew Barrymore when she was doing all those Firestarter and E.T. I guess, even though E.T. wasn't a horror, but to a kid, it could be. But as far as somebody that small putting in the work like this young man did, Noah Wiseman, I have never seen it. I was totally blown away by it.
Agree.
Yeah, I thought he did a very good. I thought his performance was very good, but I also felt like part of it, the performance that he was trying to capture, was being annoying as fuck. So I understand why everyone thinks he's annoying, but then there's also another side of him that is like also very loving towards his mother, you know. And so a little bit enduring that way, and then like at the end of the movie, once they sort of get through on the other side, and he does his little magic trick, and he's doing like his little happy dance and stuff, you're like, oh, okay, maybe they'll be okay. Maybe they'll stop all the screaming.
Think about it though. Think about it in possession movies. It's always the kid who gets it, right? Think about it. It's always the kid who gets it. And they flipped it over on his side with this. Is the kid, the kid, he didn't invite the Babadook in. It was already there through his mother. He was able just to see it, and then that's why he started to guard. That's why he started making those weapons, because he spotted it, but it wasn't anything that he did. Like Regan from for The Exorcist, playing with a Ouija board, and those sort of things. And people that invite supernatural events to come their way. Samuel didn't do that. Samuel was really always the protector. But think 6 years old, and always in most movies, it's always the priest coming in to exorcise the demon out of the kid. And this time it's like it's the kid doing it. And a 6-year-old kid doing that. I can't really honestly remember. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, leave a comments in the chat in the comment section. But please tell me another movie where they show a young child that young, and playing the role he did as the protector, as the priest, and not understanding why he has to do it.
I think I don't know that he actually played that role so much as he was just sort of like living his life. He was just like, he was acting out a lot, had behavioral issues, but also, like I was saying, was like very loving towards his mother. So like, really, at the end of the day, it was that sort of like loving quality he had towards his mother that like endeared her out of the state of Babadook possession. You know what I mean? Like she's sitting there strangling him, and he's like gently brushing her face, and like pulls her out of it. Right? Oh, Seth in the house. What's up, Seth? Seth from Hellbound. So Jim, what did you think of young Samuel?
broke my heart because I saw it as a little boy who maybe couldn't articulate it but knew something was wrong and carried the guilt and knew that his mother was unhappy and he possibly could be the cause of the unhappiness, and some of that acting out was it. I thought also it was just the actor himself. I mean, just what a phenomenal role. And Jennifer Kent did a very good job at protecting the kid so he wouldn't be psychologically damaged. You know, she explained how the Babadook is from the kid's point of view, and they said when he was told that, he really got it. It's a beautiful story, and I can understand where people say that kid is annoying, but he's annoying for a reason. This movie is trying to tell you, look, folks, if you don't deal with your shit, you're going to create your monster inside you. And that's what the brilliance of this movie is. And the mother is trying to run. She can't face all the ugliness that's inside of her, and her kid is picking it up. So it's not only poisoning herself, it's poisoning everyone around her, including her kid. Very and again, it's very smart because it's kind of an allegory, because motherhood. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jem. Finish your thought.
Go ahead, Patrick.
I deal.
I'm sorry. I just was saying that the reason why this movie is so.
Continue. Go. Finish your thought, Jem.
Go. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut anybody off. I apologize.
No.
I just was saying that I think this movie is brilliant because, again, you're hurting yourself. You're kind of like poisoning everybody in your circle, even her family, her sisters and stuff, because she puts all the stuff of her husband in the basement. And where does the Babadook go? The basement. And like, you know, it's so brilliant how it's done and how it's dealt with. But the kid just broke my heart. Just as a mother, it broke my heart. And that scene where she screams at him, "Why can't you be normal?" I mean, it's just fucking horrifying. Like we always think as horror fans, you know, blood and gore and stuff, but it's a psychological stuff that will wound you 10 times more than anything physical with blood and guts and gore. And I'm sorry that took so long to say.
No, it's good. I think it's also interesting to note, like you said, like, well, she keeps all her stuff of her husband in the basement, and actually that's like where Samuel goes to like learn who his father is, right? So he's almost like learning about his father through her sort of grief denial and like all the problems it's causing her, right? So like when we first meet him, he's down there and she doesn't want him down there, but he's down there, you know, with all his father's stuff, and he's crafting weapons and shit. I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
and he's trying to be the protector, which I think is also brilliant because the son is supposed to protect their mom.
Yeah, and she says she's going to protect him too. So they're supposed to like protect each other, right?
I just think that the part where, you know, as far as, I mean, she's been dealing with this, and obviously she's been dealing with it alone. You know, the complicated grief that she has. She's been dealing it all her own. I mean, she tries not to let her son see that side, but you know, she's melancholy and she can't get out of it, and she's in the grip of it. And I can understand that. I can understand the struggles that she had. I mean, it's not that you want to be in that place. It's just that you got taken there against your will. Nobody asked for this. You know, no one asked for her husband to die. And now she has to deal with it. And the son, you know, and you know, even when you come up there and you ask, you know, like, I want to learn about my dad, or, you know, and it's, even though they're innocent questions, it's like you hear people say, you know, and you got to move on, or this person wouldn't want that for you. What they mean well, but what they don't understand is they're damaging. They are pulling the wound open again. And every time Samuel, through no fault of his own, would mention his father, all that did was just pushed Amelia down even further. You know,
that's a brilliant
this movie got to me.
Yeah.
I mean, also like his birthday is the anniversary of his dad's death, right? So like every time his birthday comes around, it's supposed to be like this happy day for him, and the mom's just like fucking completely destroyed every year or whatever, you know. So much so that they moved a birthday on that date. Like
it's interesting too, because the psychology of it, that there is a thing like with deaths and stuff where people will have this where they don't want to acknowledge it at all. It's a psychology thing, and I thought that was brilliant that she would have the birthday with her sister's kids so she wouldn't have to deal again, talking about running from what you're trying not to deal with, and she didn't want to deal with it on the anniversary, so she did it on her sister's kids day so she didn't have to. That was brilliant.
Did you think this is just a question, do you think that was actually her sister, or was that just like Auntie whatever her name was?
I think that was her sister.
Okay.
I think it was her sister. I think it was. That's how I took
it. I have a question for you. So let's just say, obviously, the day that the dad died and the day Samuel came in, wouldn't it have been better, or you could at least talk to the doctor about it, to push the date 2 days either way, so that the son wouldn't grow up with that stigma on his shoulders?
Dude, she was in labor in the car. That's where they were going. Like,
yeah, I know that, but I mean, so she has the baby that night, right? But in the best interest of everybody concerned, instead of saying, the accident happened on the first, the same, that's your birthday, it's the first, the same day your dad died, wouldn't it have been better a little bit, instead of having both on the first, maybe have the day the dad died on the first, but on the birth certificate, put the kid's name on the third or the fourth, so he wouldn't have to grow up with that stigma?
Maybe, but that's like a factual document. It's just like a document on that. It's like it's record keeping. I mean, you could fake a record keeping document, but like, it's not really a doctor's job to do that.
I see what Patrick's going though. I could see what Patrick's going with this, like maybe on the.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a real doctor that question.
I bet it's unethical for them to change the date. I bet it's like against their ethics or whatever.
Yeah, it probably is very illegal. But you could just, like, the kid might not know, and how many kids look at their birth certificates. Like, I can see where Patrick's going. You could just tell the kid, okay, you were born on technically you're born on the 7th, but I'm going to tell you you're born on the 10th. That kind of thing. I get where, and I'm sure there's probably been some parents who have done something like that for whatever reason.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure. I mean, I would, I tell you right now, if that happened to me in that situation, I would, even if they wouldn't have been official, I still would have made it official. I still would have celebrated his birthday on the 6th, or, on the 4th. I would have made that, every year he would have grown up, he would have thought his birthday was on the 6th. And I'm not going to be the one to tell him otherwise. Now, when he's older enough to handle it, when he's teenager, 16, 17, and he's mature enough to handle it, maybe then I tell him, but until then, I think I sort of keep that. I think I would keep that against my chest to spare him that.
I mean, maybe, but also, like, I think the reason, like, he's just a kid. That's just how it always is for him. He doesn't have the kind of insight that like an adult has going into that. You know what I mean? For him, like, it's not really going to make so much of a difference. It's really, he's going to be doing that experience through how his mother behaves with it, right? So, like,
I don't know. Remember in the clubhouse? In the clubhouse, I mean, his little cousin was sitting there and riding him about it, about his dad, and he that's the reason why he pushed her. He was very aware of his dad and the loss of it. I mean, he was hyper aware of it.
Yeah, but she was not speaking factual information. She was just saying shit that was supposed to be hurtful. Like, you're not even good. That's why your dad left. And, like, you're so bad you don't even get a dad, or, I mean, that's like, has nothing in, that would upset any little kid who doesn't.
The little bitch had it coming.
Yeah.
I was happy when he did that.
I was like, you should have broken her nose in 3 places, dude.
I felt the same way. If I'd been the mother, I would have fucking beat the kid's ass. I don't care.
And I mean, of course, like, Samuel never actually told anyone, like, as far as I could tell, like, what happened up there, like, that he was being bullied and that, he acted out because he was, like, overwhelmed with her saying mean shit to him.
Yeah. And a lot of kids won't tell about it, and that's another brilliant thing about it. Psychologically, this movie gets a lot right, and I like the fact that he didn't tell. But like, if that little girl had been my daughter and I had figured it out or found it out, that kid wouldn't have been able to sit for a week, and it would have had a big apology. Like, I would have made her give a big. I got angry at that because no, you don't do that to other people, even if you're a kid.
You would think.
I just thought that the way the little girl, what she said about it, it also tells you too. It's like kids like that, they don't pick that shit up just on their own, and it sort of makes you wonder exactly what was her mother saying behind everybody else's back and underneath their own home. I'm sure she heard her mom talk about her aunt, in not so kind ways. Like, get on with your life or do this or do that. I mean, I'm sure that's where she picked it up at, because like I said, you just don't pick up shit like not that heavy. You don't pick that up. I mean, you can call someone a poo-poo head, but you're not going to talk about somebody's dead parent, not unless you get that from your own parents, your own circle.
I mean, they did that. They did that to like little what's her face in Halloween. 4, right?
Where, like, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess apparently kids are just fucked up like that,
So but it's about the parenting. Like, it is about it. And like, I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I'm talking about from my mother. Like, my mother was pretty liberal and she let me get away with a lot of shit. But like, she would have beat my ass if I would have ever been mean or unkind to anybody. She would have beat my ass. Like, I could have cussed. She would have gone to bat for me a lot of things, but that was one thing that was like, you don't ever be unkind to somebody. You be nice to everybody. It was a big thing with me. Growing up in my house, my mother would have beat my ass.
I feel like that no one knows that the daughter was being unkind per se, and like the sister, though I think she was not like helpful and supportive in the right ways for her sister, but she also wasn't like overtly hateful about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like she was just like like a villainous, like toxic.
Even when she said that, like her daughter wanted to have a princess birthday and didn't want to share the day with Samuel, that wasn't hateful or mean or spiteful. It was just like, it's time. She's a young girl. She, they're not going to stay together. They're not going to be, they have different interests, and whatnot. So it's like, I totally understand that. I never thought the sister like I said, I never saw the sister as a villain in any way.
She was kind of,
and like you said, sometimes people meaning the best intentions will say stuff.
Yeah. So I think we meet them first off in the park, and then secondly at the party, and of course Samuel has been acting up at school, so he actually gets kicked out of school, right? He gets kicked out, and so now they're both sort of sitting at home alone with each other. And this is like when we start getting into the Babadook, right? So he gets to pick the story that she's going to read. She was reading like The Big Bad Wolf before, and there's this mystery book called The Babadook that they start reading. I loved the book, by the way. What did you guys think of the book?
Thought the book was tight. I liked it.
I think Jen looks like she might be frozen. I thought I liked the art direction, like the sort of production design of the book quite a bit. I thought the pop-ups were really cool. Hopefully Jen will come back in. It looks like she got cut off. But I thought the book was super cool. And the story, they're sitting there reading it, and of course the mom's like, I don't think this is really appropriate. So she like, kind of stops reading it and like tries to hide the book. And of course, Samuel really just like picks up the Babadook and sort of runs with it. What did you think of the introduction to the Babadook, Patrick?
I liked it, and what I thought was really creepy about the book is that she was reading it and it was reading the rhymes, and then it would stop, and you would think it was just a kid's book, but then she kept on going. All of a sudden, it was just all blank pages, and it wasn't just 2 or 3 blank pages. They had a lot of blank pages on there, so it sort of made you curious, like, okay, how is this book writing itself? And of course, we find out how it is, and it's like it's really, it's spooky as hell. Um, I like the introduction. I thought it was really interesting, different. I mean, a different kind of, for what it was, a different kind of entity. And I thought it fit. I really, I guess I don't know. I mean, not that I would say I imagine my grief looking like that, but at the same time, I can, because if you put something, you need some sort of perspective of what you're dealing with, like, and I don't know. I thought the book was a really good way to do that. But like I said, the book itself with all the empty pages, what potentially could happen, I thought that was pretty freaky.
Yeah. What did you think, Jen, of the initial introduction to the Babadook through the book?
I thought it was interesting, but I do have a question for you guys with the book, because, and I thought this when I initially watched the movie, and I've heard other people say it too. Do you think that she might have written the book? Because it does talk how she had written children's stories. Do you think she might have written the book and just forgot about it, or just, disassociated from herself, and like when he found it? Is that a possibility, or did I totally read it wrong?
I mean, I think in a way she did write the book through her experience of sort of like denying the grief, not like experiencing the grief and trying to like block everything away. But I feel like the book was more allegorical. Like, I guess in the movie, it was a physical object. I don't think that she definitely knowingly didn't write it or anything, right? So right. But also it was pretty complicated, making like pop-ups. So I mean, I don't know when she would have had time, like put that together. I think Samuel would have seen her working on it.
I've heard that theory. Well, I get you.
And plus, there was more than one.
Maybe I've just heard that theory floating around that she might have done.
That's true. There was no name on the book,
but I do think it is very allegorical.
Yeah. Also,
I think you're very right on the allegorical.
Oh, what did your book write? Did your book write out what happened to you, Ben?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's ongoing. Yeah.
A little pop-up motorcycle.
I keep my Babadook in the closet. I don't actually have a basement, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Ben, those books are going for about $600 on eBay now.
I believe it. They're pretty rare. I definitely didn't. I don't remember how much I paid, but it definitely wasn't that. At some point they'll probably do another release. It's like it's really has like a nice. It's like cloth bound, and it has like a really nice handmade quality. Even though I don't think it was like exactly handmade, but that's how it sort of feels. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorite horror collectibles that I have. It's pretty rad.
That is pretty cool. Now, where did you order that from? Was that from overseas?
Awesome. I got it on eBay. But they'd done like a online campaign for a small run of them, and they all sold out pretty quick. So
I'm sure
they just did that.
That's very cool.
What, there was about 6,000 copies? I think it was about 6,000.
I think so, something
6,
like that.
Okay. That's very cool.
But yeah, big fan. And of course, she tries to hide it, and the son becomes obsessed with the Babadook. she's like keeps denying the Babadook, of course. But her son ultimately, like when there is that fight at the birthday party and stuff, it's because he like was scaring everyone with the Babadook, talking about monsters, his sort of obsession with monsters. I guess when
you know, what was really cool though. See, again, it goes back to normal movies would have him embracing the monster. Here, he's the defender. That's just something you just don't see very often. You know, he was talking about it, but it wasn't like go back to Z, right? Ben, you and I covered that with Mary. That little boy embraced the Z, right? That was his best friend, his imaginary friend. Here, the Babadook, and we got Samuel, you know, arming himself with weapons, you know, and to defend himself and his mom. You see that the imaginary friend trope all the time. Poltergeist, you know, this is my friend, and then you know all that happens, and it's always the kid embracing the creature. I think this was really cool in the fact that it did not. It reversed itself, and like I said, I mean, he recognized. I don't think he recognized the Babadook for grief. I think he saw the Babadook as a monster looking to hurt his mom, and try to defend her. I don't think he understood what the Babadook. Obviously, he didn't understand what the Babadook really was and what it represented.
But he acknowledged it and he obsessed about it. You know.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting, the introduction of the Babadook. Yeah, he was trying to resolve it and stuff. I love that he made that little weird backpack cannon and he had his little crossbow and shit. I was like, okay, this kid needs action. And then like
ingenuitive kid, very ingenuitive.
I know. I'm going like, someone's watching too much MacGyver.
Yeah, he's got his little tripcord on the stairs and everything. But I think this is the point where things start spiraling for the two of them. And I found that the introduction of this sort of like descent in the second act, you know, where like the Babadook starts coming into their lives. I thought it was really interesting because yeah, I don't know. It was a lot more sort of psychological approach than I would have expected. Just when I first started watching this, I thought it was going to be like a cheesy, you know, ghost in the house type of situation, or like a boogeyman thing. But I thought the sort of psychological aspect of it, you know, where it was sort of like tormenting her in a way where she didn't know if it was like what was reality, if she was hallucinating, or just, you know, that type of stuff. I thought it was pretty interesting.
The part about that really got me too was the part about her always looking for sleep.
And you could take it.
Always trying to. I thought the part where she's trying to sleep, she couldn't get to sleep. All she wanted to was sleep. Yeah,
I've been there.
Been there. Still
am.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, that's usually part of depression is excessive sleep. And what the interesting thing about this, like speaking to the psychological, is it's the stages of, but minus the acceptance. We do eventually get to the acceptance, but for a long time she is just repeating and recycling denial, anger, bargaining, and depression. And the thing that people don't realize is that's non-linear. Everyone thinks, okay, you go through those. No, you can bounce between all of them and go back and forth and sideways. And so that's kind of what we're doing with this the next half of the movie. They're both between, you know, denial, or bargaining, anger, all of it, and sometimes more than one. And I thought that was very brilliant.
Yeah, I think definitely like the kid was never in denial, but he was heavily affected by her denial and every other thing that, you know, if you can't get past it, then you just keep sort of like ping-ponging around, right? But yeah, I agree. Good insight. But so he has like, they're driving along. I think was it after the party? They're driving along and he's like freaking out in the back seat, and like gets overheated brain or whatever, and has like a seizure. And they go to the hospital, and like you can see she's pretty much on her last legs at that point. She's sort of begging the doctor for like a course of sedatives for the kid and shit, you know, until they can get to see like a psychiatrist because she's at her wits end. Stressed out with like, I mean, that's a rough place to be, like super like responsible for another human being and not being able to sleep, and then also being responsible for making a living for the two of you and stuff, like with no support structure or anything like that. Like her sister's not very supportive, you know, in that sense. The only sort of friend / break, well, her coworker is nice.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. And then their neighbor with Parkinson's also very, very kind.
I've been there, and it's yeah. And again, speaking to motherhood, you kind of have to be all and see all to everybody, and that's just exhausting. Even when things are going really well, it's exhausting. Being a parent, I shouldn't just say motherhood, but being a parent, it can be very exhausting.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. For better or for worse, I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine it's like extremely rewarding in so many ways as well. Yeah, when you're stuck in that sort of no sleep, I got to go to work, and then I come home and there's no peace at home because the kid's like having issues and like you don't know what to do. I think is where she was finding herself. But he has a seizure. They're waiting for the test results. The doctor gives him sedatives, and she finally gets like a nice, relaxing night of sleep. But that's sort of like her last little peaceful moment. things start going downhill from there. She had, I guess there's a point where the armoire or whatever it is, like gets knocked over. And I think the book was on top of that, right? And she like hears a loud bang and she runs into the room, and little Samuel is like in the corner, like curled up in the fetal position and like, and freaked out. What did you guys think of that part?
I think the little boy was just absolutely overwhelmed.
As a mother, it just makes your heart drop.
What do you think about this, Jen? Parallels to being stresses of a single parent?
Do I think these parallels to being to the aviation of is the most relatable element? It can be. It very much can be, because you know, you're failing. She's basically failing her kid. You know, you're trying to. She's getting a good night's sleep, and then you wake up and your heart's in your hands, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and all the stress, and it's all on you. It's terrifying. It's also just terrifying because you're powerless, and you're supposed to be the one that has all. You got this shit. And then that also exasperates your anger toward the kid, because why can't this kid just be normal? Everybody else's kid is normal. Why can't mine be normal? What did I do? You know? Yeah. And so is this some sort of punishment? All this shit can go through your head, and it can make you fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I agree. I don't know how relatable that was for me personally. I think for probably any parent, it would be pretty relatable. But yeah, I think that's really a tough position to be in, because there's really just no break. You're just always responsible for something, and like there's just no like day off. It's not like work where you get a weekend or something. Like you have to work too, and then on the weekend you have to like take care of all the shit that you weren't able to take care of, and like, you know, your kids got issues and you don't know what to do about it and all that shit, you know. So I did feel for her in that regard. It was
being a single parent too. I mean, there's one advantage to it too, and that is when you have someone like a child with you, you have a chance to to change the narrative a little bit, like to get out more. Like she said, let's go out, let's go to Wally's for dinner, whatever you want. And there, I mean, she could talk to him, and they could sit together and talk, or what have you. I think being solo and having a Babadook living in your house is worse than having a child in there, because you not only do you have a Babadook, or in this case a grief, you have that, and you have your own, and especially if you have something where you yourself, like everybody's talking about, she's blaming, they say she's blaming Samuel for what happened. That just never really floated for me, that, because there was he had nothing to do with it, at all. But I do think this. I do think when, if you're by yourself, and you go over in your head constantly without any sort of distraction about what happened. Now imagine her falling in the opening shot, her falling into the bed every night, and there's no Samuel to break that up. It's all she's seeing is that over and over and over. There's no distraction. There's none of that. There's just you in your own head dealing with that entity. I gotta say, I think that's where a lot of people, and you're gonna laugh at this, but man, I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm grateful that I have my cat. It's not a child, but good Lord, he saves my ass. If I didn't have my cat, and because there was a period there where I didn't have anybody in this house. And that is the closest I've come to this, like, that's it, I'm out of here. I mean, that's how close it was for me. I was just being destroyed from on all sides. And I think she, I think that I think she felt a little bit like that too. I think it's the reason why she started snapping was because she just was. Well, one thing, she just couldn't. I don't think she could comprehend what her son was trying to do. Because, come on, honestly, 6 years old, and he's acting like that. I mean, of course, she's like I don't know what to do with him anymore. I don't know what the hell to do. It's because he's exhibiting adult behavior in a 6-year-old. That's not normal behavior for a 6-year-old. To want to protect his mom like that, and to fight for her like that. I've had families. We all have families. Do you ever remember doing that as a kid? I don't. I was looking for my next bowl of ice cream.
I do.
I do.
I remember that.
I mean,
I think it's just a character thing, I mean, I think I don't think it's just like people are programmed the way they're programmed, and you continue to get programmed throughout life. But some people come with some pre-programming, and some people are they just do the things that it's in their character to do. He wasn't thinking, oh, I have to step up and protect my mom. He was just always loving to his mom, and he felt he wanted to protect her because that's who he was inside. On the outside, he was the kid who was acting out and bringing weapons to school, and but on the inside, he was a sensitive little kid who didn't know how to deal with any of the situation, but he also didn't want to see his mom struggle the way she had been struggling. In this case, the embodiment of the Babadook for him to battle, but in general, it would just be well, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I would agree. It also is what you grew up with. I mean, everybody kind of has different, what you come from also kind of determines what you are and what you're programmed to. Some kids, have but some of us come from a little bit more. So it's also what you're dealt with, what the hands you're dealt with. And sometimes it's more normal in your family to maybe have to look out for certain things that other kids might not even think about.
Yeah. It was,
and this kid's dealing with.
I think that's a lot of people, I remember I did a contest on the YouTube channel once where I was who's the most annoying kid actor in a horror movie or something? I think that was one of my questions for people, and
I remember
a
it.
lot of people either went. It was either going to be Bob from House by the Cemetery, or kid from the Babadook, and I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I think he's like pretty much universally acknowledged as that performance as being annoying, but it is a little bit more than that. But I think, you know, if you on like first impression, I remember, yeah, he did his job. He was supposed to be annoying. He's supposed to like get on your nerves so that you sort of have that you can empathize with the mom and like, you know what I mean? But obviously, yeah, he was more.
And all they have is each other too. Like he was an only child. He didn't have any brothers or sisters or a father. And I mean, all he had was his mom. So of course, when
Yeah.
that's all you got, you are going to be more protective of it. I can
Yeah,
understand that as being an only child. It's nice to be an only child, but there's you don't have anyone's example. You got to kind of figure it out for yourself.
yeah, yeah. They were really like on a little bit of an island there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, so she basically, I think after the armoire falls and he freaks out, she finds the book again and she like gets pissed off. She tears it all up and she throws it away. And then, and now there's knocking on the door and she finds it on the doorstep. And now there's a new section of it, right? So
Yeah.
all the old stuff is like reassembled, taped up, and then like now there's a new little section on those where those blank pages were. Um, which I thought was pretty interesting that it was like a living document in that way. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that freaks her out again, and she ends up like uh, completely burning the book. Tom Baker, 4586, is that the Fourth Doctor reference? Found it boring, which I guess you know a lot of people found it boring, and
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm glad they did in the sense that that means they haven't experienced anything to warrant what was going on in the movie. You know, they because I think anybody who has understands it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, I get why people think it's boring. But all I can say to that is thank God, because that makes it, you know, to me that means tells me that you haven't gone through something devastating that you would understand this movie for what she was trying to do. So I don't begrudge anybody saying that. I'm just like I'm glad I'm glad you find it boring. I wish I did. You know, in a way, you know, think about it. I think about it going like, man, I really wish I could be one of the ones that they say it was boring too, but I just can't. You know, it's one of those movies that just talks to you.
I think also like it really depends on expectations going into it because like I had pretty low expectations going into it. I didn't find it boring, but I think you know there was a huge amount of hype around it after a while, you know, where it's like it really got a lot of critical acclaim. And like I think like sitting on Rotten Tomatoes is like sitting at a 98% or
8.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it like, got a shit ton of recognition and acclaim, and so like you know, I mean it's easy to go into a movie with high expectations and be like, oh well, this wasn't what I was expecting, you know, like
Uh,
it walk a line between horror and like more psychological explorations of some other things as well. So um,
I had the only expectation I had was the kid supposed to be screaming throughout the whole movie. It's the only expectation I went in having, you know. So I was totally blown away when it was like. It was totally what I was not expecting. I was not expecting anything what I saw. And then when I saw it, I'm just sitting there going like, man, this is just it's overwhelming.
Patrick, I just think that is beautiful. And I'm not, but I honestly think that is a beautiful way to look at it. Because I just generally get angry when I hear people say it's boring or stupid or whatever. But that is a really good way to look at it. And that's a way I've never thought about it. You know, you're kind of blessed and lucky if, you know, that you don't get it. It's a good thing that you don't necessarily get it. That you've just changed my way at looking something. So thank you for that, Patrick, because that was beautifully said. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like the Babadook was like like an early. We have like what is now people are sometimes calling like elevated horror or whatever. I think the Babadook
Horror.
was it's kind of like an earlier entry into that little subgenre or whatever. And so
Yeah.
that subgenre is divisive in general. Because some people are like, well, what's wrong with just a slasher movie? Why has it got to be all whatever? And I like slasher movies. But I also like movies that are more thematically complicated or whatever, Um,
Why can't we have
I like
all
the,
of it? Like we're horror
I like the,
lovers. Why can't we celebrate it all?
how do I think? I like to think about what I'm watching. When I watch something like a Scream or Friday the 13th or Michael Myers, I don't think they're in those movies. Those movies don't challenge me thinking wise. I'm just there watching the carnage, and then I personally for one just don't really get off on that too much. I like the comedy aspects of it. Which I liked, like Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X. I love those two movies. I think they're a lot of fun because there's some really fun humor. But I love movies like this that push the envelope, that make us think. And for the most part, if you really look at it, for the most part, look at all the IFC movies that we've covered. That's one common denominator they've had is that, well, the fact that we're sitting here talking about these movies, they have produced some some great elevated horror. I mean, to me, they're like sort of like trailblazers in that respect on a consistent basis.
yeah, I will say, like, just to follow up your statement, there are plenty of times where I don't want to think about anything. I just want to put on a movie and watch some mindless shit. Yeah. And there's a lot of times where I put on a movie that that I don't want to think about. I just put on a nostalgia watch or something that I loved as a kid or something like that, which was a lot of different horror movies and stuff. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with enjoying a stupid movie either, or like a movie that's not like a Santa Jaws, for instance.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I get what you mean, Dan.
I said that for Patrick's.
I get what you mean. I get the sense.
But see, what did Tom say? Tom says, "But I liked it more than Hereditary."
I mean, that's definitely an opinion. I know two people that have that opinion.
I think it's the term elevated horror what turns people off because it's very elitist, or some people can look at it as elitist.
I feel like it. I feel like how what Patrick just said. Like, well, why can't we do? I like things that make me think, and some people feel like, well, if you like things that make you think, that means you're saying that this shit I like is like stupid and simple, and I'm a basic bitch for liking it or whatever. I don't know that that's like. I don't know.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it to everybody else. I'm just saying myself. I didn't apply it. I don't expect the broad. I'm not going to paint the brush over everybody. It's like look at all the people that went out and blew up our community talking about Scream 7 for the last 5 months. I don't begrudge that at all. If that's something you're into, by all means, man. If that's your jam, have at it. It's just like I'm totally cool with that. But I just myself, I just like to. I just like mine a little bit thicker. I like the bit of the story, that sort of thing.
To be fair, you like some Showa Godzilla shit, dude. You like Jet Jaguar. You like some Wild Eye movies. I mean, you kind of
shit. Well, yeah, but you gotta admit Godzilla versus Guy. Yeah, that's fucking elevated horror. That could be probably the first. You have to admit that, right?
I mean, I'd admit it's a masterpiece. I don't actually consider it.
Hell, Godzilla, that is a masterpiece. That's the first movie where Godzilla got his ass kicked and bled. Hell yeah, that's elevated. That's elevated.
I think a guy dressed as a clown sawing some woman in half vagina first is fucking elevated. I'm like, bravo. So like,
hell yeah, art is definitely an elevated character for sure. I'm with you 100%, 1,000% on that.
I just like for the now that we're talking about art real quick, I just got to say that I kind of love how David Howard Thornton is just so unapologetically political with like all of his posts. He's just so it's great. I think because a lot of people like he's clearly going to like he's just unapologetic about it, which I like.
You kind of have to be in this day and age, though, don't you think? Considering everything that's going on right now.
No, I think there's a lot of people who can like be like, I don't want to rock the boat, you know. I have like a lot of my fans have certain beliefs that, you know, even if I think they're stupid as fuck or whatever, I don't want to alienate them and they're people and they have other good qualities or whatever. And then like, you know, there's a lot of my fans that share my same political beliefs, but he's just like, you know, I don't really give a fuck. I'm just going to share my political beliefs, which I like. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It probably helps.
He definitely has balls.
Yeah, and it probably helps that I share his beliefs. So maybe like if there was someone on the opposite side, I'd be like, well, yeah, that dude's a fucking idiot or whatever. But so who knows? Yeah.
No, I agree. I admire that he has that kind of balls and can do it, and I generally agree with him too. So. But shocking, I know. I think I'm like a right-wing conservative, but I'm not.
I know,
right? Tom says Patrick knows me.
Shocking,
he knows I have a excellent taste in movies. He certainly does. For sure. But as far as what you mentioned, is the Babadook a real ghost? No, I don't want to speak for anybody here. I don't think he's a ghost at all. He represents grief. That's what he represents. He represents grief and how we deal with it. You know, that's how I think we're all seeing it. But no, he's not a ghost or a demon or anything like that. Even though he possesses her, but Jesus, you know, that's every single person who's gone through a horrible event where they're grieving. They're all possessed by it.
He's definitely an entity, and he definitely is manifested in reality through her experience.
I can take it as an allegory for a ghost. It's the ghost inside us. It's our ghost. We haunt ourselves. It's of us is how I look at it. Demons of our own making.
But I think like even in our reality, like they become super actually real based on how they affect you and how you react to them and how you're interacting with others and stuff. So I wouldn't use the word ghost, but I would say the Babadook was definitely like a real force in their lives. You know what I mean?
Right. I called it an entity.
I would agree with
that's how I described it.
I call it an inner
the darkness in ourselves is how I look at it. It's the darkness in ourselves.
The haunting of ourselves, that fits too. That really fits. Haunting. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. So she doesn't get any help from the police, so she just pretty much gives up on that pretty quick, and she's just sort of starting to fall apart a little bit and not know it, like just as far as reality goes. Like she sees all those cockroaches, but then later when the two, I don't know what they're called in Australia, the people that are there for the child well-being or whatever.
It's just their version of child protective services.
Yeah. But that they come over and obviously she's like, oh, there's a hole in the wall where these cockroaches, and she sees that there wasn't. And so she like, I don't know. I would have freaked out a little more than her. She just sort of like accepted it, like, oh shit, I guess that wasn't real.
I think she was just too exhausted to react.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I took it too.
Yeah. I mean, the way she handled them, and there was no like real urgency. She's just worn down to the nub, you know, and it's like, you know, I think that's really what it was. I just kept on wondering too. I was wondering, why didn't she take one of those pills that her son got? You would think that she would have did that for the sleep, but
I
I mean, to her
I
credit,
think
she didn't.
it was, another interesting aspect of the kid that we never discussed is he goes in and sleeps in her bed like every night or whatever. And there's like a little montage where they show the kid, like a close up of the kid like pulling on her ear in his sleep, and he's like grinding his teeth, and he's got like his leg wrapped over, and she's just like sitting there awake. So I think like removing him is like a sedative for her. You know what I mean? Like he's in his bed sleeping, and she sort of get her own sleep.
I tell you one scene that was really weird.
Yeah, because if you've ever had a kid sleep with you,
Well,
you don't get sleep.
There was one scene early in the movie where he goes and he hugs his mom, but he moans in his ear, and she freaks the hell out from that because I think it sounded a little bit too familiar to her.
Mm-hmm.
I
thought
don't.
that was she pushed him away because I think it reminded her of her husband, and it was just like that's a little weird.
I don't remember that in
Freudian.
particular, but yeah. So she's basically starting to act out and lose her mind a little bit. But yeah, let's get into it. Like she starts having hallucination. Well, first she has like a bunch of glass in her chowder or whatever the fuck that was that white shit she was boiling. Like she's eating, she gets like a chunk of glass, and then like she notices that his doesn't have any glass in it, and so she's obviously thinking it's him, and he's saying it's the Babadook, and she's like, whatever the fuck, dude. But so these are like the very first like inklings of the Babadook sort of like invading their space. Manifesting. And she wakes up in the middle of the night. She sees him slaughtered, right? And she's like, oh my God. And she's going over to him, and he's like, oh, mom. And she looks over, and she's like holding a knife. So she's like envisioning herself like murdering her child and stuff. I thought it was pretty well done how they were sort of like representing all that stuff and her struggles in general. What did you guys think of the sort of like the descent into like that third act where she is like Babadook's in full effect?
Descent into madness. It's descent into madness.
Yeah.
I thought the possession part, when he came into her and he basically possessed her, and I thought that was really well done and really freaky. And I guess it's sort of like, if you look at it, sort of like a warning bell, sort of like to anybody watching this, if this is where you're at, because how many times we've heard about moms who've had their kids and just wiped them all out. The moms that just hit, you know what I'm saying? There's been some, I think the one in Texas got me the most. I think she killed all 5 of her kids by drowning them. But she was, she was just gone. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her husband was gone, and she was overwhelmed. Just too many kids, which was like, you can understand.
In the 80s, what was it, like Diane Downs? Was that her name? She drowned her kids in the car or whatever.
Are you thinking of Susan Smith from the 90s? Are you thinking of Susan Smith from the 90s?
There was one who like shot her kids, and like her one daughter survived. That was
Diane Downs.
Yeah, that was Diane Downs. And then there was the one who like drowned them in the car, and then like, I think that was
Susan Smith. Yeah, it was Susan Smith. And she did that. That was the most creepiest one to me, because she did that one because basically it was for a man. Like the guy broke up with her. He was a rich guy, and he said, I can't be with someone who has kids. And man, and then just she watched the car sink, and it makes your blood run cold.
It's pretty crazy.
Like, I love penis as much as any woman, but I would never drown my kids for a penis.
No, that's pretty shocking behavior. It's like such a taboo thing. Like, you can almost wrap your mind around someone. it's obviously terrible no matter what. But if someone's just completely batshit crazy and they're like hallucinating or whatever, they think their kids are the devil, or like I don't know, they're just completely out of their mind and can't really like, are not in control of their faculties. That's one thing. But to have like a motive, like, oh, I love this dude, he doesn't want my kids, so I guess I'll kill them. You know, that's like
problem solved.
Shit.
That's like deeply unnerving.
That's if I'm not exactly a religious person, but I think that's there. If there is a hell, there's got to be a place in hell for that kind of fuckery. You would hope.
Agreed.
You would hope. You would hope. But I guess, you know, she could repent and anyway, so who knows? Who knows how that works?
No, I think if there was a just God, that would be something they'd like, no, you killed your babies. No, get out of jail for you.
Your heavenly ship has sailed, yeah.
I'm not saying you can't get a pass for murder if you have a good enough reason, but that's not one of them.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to come back from.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Like, I wonder if, like, to me, I think all the soldiers that fought in World War II, I just looked at them going like, you know, I wonder if they get a pass, you know, because they were fighting to save other people's lives, you know. They're fighting to stop the Nazis from killing the Jews. I mean, what happens, you know, and they had to kill people to do it. And I, you know, I always wondered about that. And I used to talk to my pastor about that and going like, because, you know, the Bible says thou shalt not kill. And I'm going like, wow, if that was the case, we lived up to that today, we wouldn't be America. We would have been a fascist state, you know, back in the 40s instead of now. But I mean, we had to, you know, they had to fight. Mm-hmm. That's a really deep question, you know, and you know, but not the time or place, but the time or place, but it's definitely something to think about.
I think everyone's has different like religious views. So like some people are like very like Old Testament and they believe in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. Some people believe, you know, just in love, and some people like believe in holy wars, and who knows, you know, who's to say? I guess it depends on the whatever lens you're viewing it through, Patrick.
Yeah.
I think whatever entity you want to believe in, I think if they know what's in your heart, like if you had like I say it jokingly, but I'm not, like if you had a good reason, or for some reason, then I think if it was worth praying to, they'd understand. You know what I mean? Like if it's evil shit, they'd know it. And if it was, you murdered someone, but you had a damn good reason for doing it, you know. But yeah, I'm not a theologian, so what the hell do I know?
nor am I, which is why we should definitely keep discussing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stop discussing religion and let's move on to politics, guys. No,
I wanted to convert you guys.
We got to talk about the one sad part about this movie. Probably the saddest part about the movie is we haven't even mentioned it yet, and I'm surprised that Ben hasn't mentioned it yet. Maybe because it's not a corgi, but we got to talk a little bit about Bugsy.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I'm pretty much expect any Australian movie I watch, they're going to kill the dog. It's just like how they do it in Australia. So if I see that little,
watch
like,
it more than once.
Yeah, it's I did do a couple of like little quicks, like, like little fast forward. So I'm like, okay, I know, I don't need to hear like dog, you know, sad dog sounds. But yeah, I mean,
Knights in White Satin.
Yeah.
I actually thought about you, Ben. I'm going like, I bet he's not watching this shit. He's not watching this. He's not watching this.
It's like Jem was just saying in that movie Hounds of Love, there's like a scene at the end, you know, that's you know, similar thematically, but that was another one where I'm just like, I just don't need to hear this shit. Like I'll either just like hit mute or I'll do like a quick fast forward. I can't be too mad at like Australians, because in some in some sense, it's like the desired effect is to like have impact, like, you know, on people, right? And so that's a good way to do it, at least for me, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, like all this, like whatever, you know, you watch like from most people, like maybe a decapitation or like a whatever, like sawing a girl in half, starting from the edge, going, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, for a lot of people, that's like unnerving, and I'm just like whatever. So I guess, you know, different strokes. It is a fictional thing at the end, though. I did think Bugsy was pretty cute, and it was disturbing that Bugsy got murdered.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also unnerving that she then used that to try to lure her son out. Bugsy's hurt. We need to get him, like, you know, we need to like get him help. You know, that's how she's trying to like manipulate her kid or whatever. That was also problematic.
But
Um,
again, motherhood, it kind of
How-
is a commentary on motherhood, because how many times like has mothers done, like, maybe not done it at that level, but as a mother, sometimes we do use manipulative shit to get you to do what we want.
Mhm.
yeah,
Not me, but I've heard.
right. I mean, that's what part enforcement is too, in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, eat your vegetables, you can have dessert or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that this part where, you know, the last third, I definitely thought that, you know, again, we talk about elevated. Again, you got to go back to that little boy. You know, after they show the mom being possessed and her just, you know, like going schizophrenic on it. Uh, just another, again. I just got to praise his acting. It's absolutely phenomenal that he did such a great job. I mean, considering like and again, we were talking about this. We're not talking. This is not a scene that was shot where, you know, where they showed the mom yelling without the little boy in the picture, and then cut to the little boy reacting to it. This is one shot where she's actually, you know, I'm gonna beat your brains out of your fucking head, and there he is hearing that, you know, and then you just go like in his reaction to that, and you know, he's, you know, it's just like, that's an amazing. He did a great job. Like, he didn't, like, you would think the first time a little child would get yelled at but that'd be it. The kid would be going like, I don't want to be around that person because they're yelling at me. You know, it's like, well, it's just pretend. Well, yeah, I know what pretend is, and it isn't someone coming toward my way saying they're gonna not when they want to knock my brains out. uh, I think his acting in the third act was just extraordinary. Um, you know, as well as her, S.E. Davis. We haven't even mentioned her name yet, but S.E. Davis, what a phenomenal job she did. I mean, say what you want about the movie, but you can't say anything about the acting. The acting is just, and again, that's Jennifer Kent bringing it out. I mean, S.E. Davis is a big Australian star already, but for actually S.E. Davis actually she acted along Jennifer Kent. Jennifer Kent tried to be was an actress at first, and then she got tired of it, and that's when she went directing. But her and S.E. Davis used to work together, and so, you know, so they knew each other, and she knew that what kind of performance she would get out of her. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, boy, I would love to have been there when they did cut. I'd like to see the reaction, you know, what they did to help little Noah. You know, like, do they all rush over there and say, "Hey, great job," you know, and we're his parents on set, and what are I'd love to ask what did you think about that, watching your little boy in scenes like that? I mean, that's got to just be mind-boggling. Um,
You you have to have like a certain outlook in order, because the kid's not like, hey, mom and dad, I want to be an actor. You know, like the parents are like, oh, hey, let's like take our kid to this. You know, they're driving it. A kid that young, you know, like there's no
mhm.
way he just like saw a flyer and was like, oh, I'm going to go to this audition, right? Like his parents played an instrumental role in that. Um, so you know, that's sort of like they're already in it. You know, I mean, they're sort of like are already just ready for that environment. You know, I think it'd be a different story if he was like discovered in a supermarket and like you know, like, oh, we need your kid in our movie, and then they're, you know, it's like a different thing. Like I feel like as like a parent of a child actor, you know, the parents are pretty much complicit in that from the get-go, right? Kind of driving it almost.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So sometimes they are, and then sometimes they say the kid wants to act. I think again, I think it depends on the kid, but there's always a parent influence. The interesting thing is Jennifer Kent really did protect this little boy. Like she took him to the zoo and you know they did things with him. And then the scene where she's shouting at him, it was actually somebody else. The kid wasn't on set for that. It was they did some things, and it was actually the kid didn't hear it get yelled at, which I thought was good because they wanted to protect his psychological, you know, little mind. So I thought that was good. She was very protective of that kid.
There is the one scene where he's like, they're both in the same shot, and maybe I don't know, I didn't watch like whatever, but maybe that was some digital shit. But where he's like, I'm hungry, you know, it says take the medicine with food, and she's like in bed, like I'm sleepy. Oh, you're hungry, eat shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that might have been taking place in the same room, but the one where she's like sort of like walking toward him, you know, that one, yeah, they're not in the same shot or anything. Probably good.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from the kid.
He was 5 and 6.
He did a really good job.
He did.
Oh yeah, Glass was. By the way, just side note, Glass was pretty bad. I really liked them. I liked Unbreakable, and I like Split a lot. I love that it was somehow like surprise link to Unbreakable, but then yeah, he pretty much fumbled it on that last fucking third of the trilogy.
Child molestation saves the day.
Yeah,
he did that. He did the same thing with Unbreakable. I mean, it was a great movie up to the last 10 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes just like, what the fuck? That's it? It just fell apart.
I liked it.
I loved Unbreakable. I think it's his best movie. I liked it more than I liked The Sixth Sense, but the last 5-10 minutes of it is just like that big suspense. All of a sudden, it's like he walks in there and it's like, oh, it's you, okay, and there's just like, what? There's no confrontation. It was just weird. And then he should have just directed. That's the thing. I don't mind his direction, but his screenwriting, he's like George Lucas. George Lucas got lucky once, and now he thinks he's a screenwriter. Yeah, ain't. It's just. I just feels that way with M. Night, and he always has that pressure putting a twist on. It's like, dude, you don't have to put the twist on in every damn movie.
He's real hit or miss, but sometimes he hits. He's definitely like his own voice, and I feel like after the success of The Sixth Sense, he really was. Sort of maybe like he took it upon himself, but he did get shoehorned into like, oh, I gotta have a surprise twist. Yeah, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Glass was not, and although that movie Old was a terrible film, I still enjoyed aspects of it. It was like ridiculous.
Marty liked it too.
I remember watching it and I was like, I've heard so much bad shit about this, and then like I was watching it maybe like up to the halfway point, I was like, oh shit, am I actually gonna like this movie? And then it's sort of like it pretty much fell apart, but it was so ridiculous how it fell apart that I was just like, okay, whatever. Like the kid, like, I mean, I don't, spoiler alert for the fucking movie Old, but like these people are trapped on a beach and they age quickly, but they don't, it's just not consistent. There's this little kid who's like becomes this middle-aged dude, who's like, he's just with total middle-aged dude sensibilities. It's not like a little kid in a middle-aged dude's body. It's just ridiculous. But
the one, I think probably as far as the movies that he's directed, I like Unbreakable. I think his best movie was the movie he produced, and that was Devil. Devil was fantastic.
Jelly
was a great
toast,
movie.
Patrick. I can't get past that stupid jelly toast. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. No offense. Velvet loves it too. Velvet loves it too. But
I like Devil. I don't know that I would say that's his best film. I did like it. I like The Visit a lot. I thought that was a strong entry from him in this sort of found footage thing. And that one had a twist, and I thought the twist worked.
Mm-hmm. I'm basic when it comes to him. I like The Sixth Sense and I like The Village, but it's only because William Hurt's in it, and I'm like anything William Hurt's in pretty much. But those are about the only 2 movies I really like of his.
Did you see our discussion? Did you see our discussion of William Hurt in Hellgate?
No, I'll have to go back and check that one out.
It's in my playlist. That was a fun movie. That was fantastically fun. I was like so amazed when I first saw that. I was like, wow, William Hurt actually doing an IFC midnight movie. I was blown away. I'm like, and he was so good in it. And it had Carrie Elways in it as well.
I thought
anything he's in is a masterpiece.
I like The Village. I felt like it would have made an excellent Twilight Zone episode. I felt like it was a little thin for a full-length feature, but I like the atmosphere that it had.
Yes. My buddy Farm Boy and I, we guessed it before the movie started. We guessed it. We guessed it, and then and it says, and then we're like the first 5 minutes of it, we're looking at each other going like, man, this is like watching a Twilight Zone, and so we're watching the movie. At the end of it, this couple was sitting there. We weren't talking through the movie. That's really the only thing we pretty much said, that we know how it's going to end, and it's like a Twilight Zone. And they watched us at the end of the movie. They're looking at us going like, did you already see this movie? He says, no, not at all. But we're science fiction geeks, so we figured it out. It's like, you guys are really good at that. I'm like, well, we hope we didn't ruin it. He goes, no, not at all. But I was just talking to my husband and how you knew what was going to happen before it happened, because we went and saw it on opening night, and it was all right.
I will say, my nephew Sammy, he like maintains to this day that the scariest movie he's ever seen was A Knock at the Cabin, which was I don't know if that was his latest, but it was one of them. And I'm always so perplexed. I'm like, really, that one? Because we've watched a lot of horror movies together, and something about it, I don't know, scared him. So kudos to M. Night for that one.
That one was actually based off a book.
I was going to say, read the book.
Read the book.
100 times better.
Okay, I'll convey that to Sam.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about M. Night Shyamalan, I do have kind of a story, but like with what Patrick was saying is with The Sixth Sense, I went to go see it with some friends, and my mom, who never goes to movies, her best friend wanted to go see it, so I went with them a second time, and like we weren't even halfway through the movie, and my mom leans over and she goes, "He's dead, isn't he?" Not where her friend could hear, but and I'm like, how the fuck did you know? Because I'd already seen it with some friends, and I went with him for the second time, and my mom's like, "He's dead, isn't he?"
Yeah, it was the lack of interaction.
Like,
I mean, you just, it was like when they're sitting at dinner time, and he's talking to her, and she's not responding or looking or doing. He's just looking at the going like, yeah, he's gone. He's dead. It wasn't a surprise.
I kind of thought it might be going that way the first time I watched it, but I wasn't sure. But my mom's like, "Yeah, it's pretty obvious, Jen." Like, I hate you.
I like never watch movies like Sam, who I just mentioned. He's always like that, like always trying to like figure it out, and he'll make like 100 predictions, and then when one of them comes right, you'll be like, "See, I knew that shit." But he is pretty good at it. Like, I always just like watch the movie and let it wash over me. So if I see some shit coming, then that means it's really ham-handed. You know what I mean? If I'm like, oh, that's obvious, and there's a few movies like that, but. You know, even if it's not totally botched by the filmmakers, I usually just watch, and I'm usually surprised.
Yeah. I can always tell that I'm really into a movie when I'm surprised because, or I'm not trying to figure it out. That's when the movie really has me, when I'm just letting the movie take me where it wants to. When I'm trying to figure it out, that's when I'm not that engaged.
I really had to I had to stay in this movie, and but like as soon as it was over with, man, I had to go have some quiet time. I was pretty upset. It was like, understand it, and it's like, wow, just yeah, it's upsetting, but it's but I can relate to it, like so many others can. I'm sure they saw the same movie. It's amazing how some movies are like that. Like for years I couldn't watch anything even close. I couldn't have watched this movie until like a couple of years ago. I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I would have never made it past the first 10 minutes. I would have said, nope, that's it. And the fact that I actually made it through, but then but I was wrecked. Not gonna kid you, I was wrecked. But I know in a way I love that fact that I'm still able to feel that way, in one respect. Sort of sad, sort of sad that I still do. Like it's I don't have calluses over, but at the same time, I'm also grateful that I can relate to this, and I can respond to it. I'm not jaded, by what that's really what I'm thankful for more than anything else. In watching a movie like The Babadook, I still want to be able to feel it, even if it hurts.
Yeah.
So what did you? Yeah. How do you guys feel about the resolution of this movie? Like just the general resolution, where like say that Perfect. All the shit hitting the fans. You like it?
Perfect.
Exactly. What did you think?
I love the ending.
Yeah. That was the most haunting line. That was the most haunting line in the whole movie to me, was where Samuel told his mom that he can't get rid of it, because that's absolutely 1,000% correct. You're not getting rid of it. It happened to you. You're not getting rid of it. There's no like I said, people come up there and say, well, you got to move on, or you got to it's not what they would have wanted for you, and come on, you got to keep yourself. You know what? Those are all words to somebody who's gone through something traumatic. There would have been, there's nothing there. We couldn't tell Amelia anything. The three of us, when we saw her, said, Amelia, it's going to get better, or Amelia, wow, it looks like you really have improved and things are getting better for you. No, because at the end of the day, she's going to bed alone, thinking about her husband. And that's going to happen to that night, and the next day, the day after that, and for years. It's always going to be there. It'll never go away. It's just like the Babadook. But you can't take steps in order to put hold of that bay, so it doesn't overwhelm you to take you out. You got to find something, for her. Beginning of the movie, what was her bane, which was her son, turns out the end of the movie, it's her salvation. As much as it can be.
Yeah, I'm just backtracking a little bit. I love that like all of his planning worked out so perfectly. He shoots her with a dart. He knocks her in the head with the backpack, and he trips her off the stairs and like ties her up. I'm like, perfect, dude. You fucking nailed it, kid.
Yes, someone's watching Home Alone.
Yeah.
I thought that too.
I thought it was really like after Babadook like takes the kid upstairs and is like knocking him around and shit, and like she like confronts the Babadook, and then at that moment she's just like pretty much forced to like confront the death of her husband, right? She like sees it right in front of her, and then from that, so I think like it's always there, but like if you do what you can to like process it and not ignore it, and then it's there with you, but it's also kind of kept at bay a little bit, like, just give it a bowl of worms every now and again. I think it's a good message.
That's the part I love.
I don't know. That's the only part of the whole movie I didn't quite understand was the feeding of the worms. I didn't understand that part, but I do know that it was her way of keeping it at bay. You know, like still came at her, but she was able to hold it on bay. She had the tools, you know, in her tool chest to hold it at bay. It wasn't going to overwhelm her anymore.
Yeah.
She's, you know, it's like she learned, because you come to learn to deal with it. You know, the first couple of years, you're fucked. The first couple of years after something traumatic happened, you're fucked. First 2 weeks, you're really fucked. You have that haze. You know, you shouldn't be driving anywhere. The next 2 years after that, people say, after the first year, it gets better. No, it doesn't. The second year is worse. The second year is worse. And then you try to develop some sort of coping tools because there's no healing. People try to get remarried. You know, you see them try to remarry. They're trying to bury the memory. If I have someone else in my life, I don't have to think about I lost my spouse. Doesn't work. You know, a lot of times they just do it because they don't want to be lonely. I've heard so many people tell me that. I've heard so many people tell me that they've gotten remarried after their spouses died. And they said the number one reason why they did it, it wasn't because they fell in love with somebody. It was because they didn't want to be alone.
I think there's a lot of room for various people's experience in that, though. Like, some people probably can fall in love with someone, you know, down the line and can marry because they love someone, right? And like, it doesn't mean that they have to forget anything, or it doesn't diminish their previous partner, and it's not like, you know, hiding them and moving on. But like, you know, I'm sure sometimes it's also like, I'm just not gonna focus on this at all, and then I'm going to, like, you know, distract myself with some bullshit. But I don't think that's necessarily always the case, you know.
I was really happy. I have a friend of mine who did get remarried after he lost his wife, and I got to be honest with you, I was the most happiest person alive for it. I was overjoyed. I was so happy for him because he deserved it. You know, he was a warrior. He was a fucking warrior for his wife. And if anybody deserved a little, you know, another shot of happiness, it was him. And the most importantly is the woman who was his wife. She understood it. She understood exactly what he was going through. Not because she had gone through it herself, but she knew what he was going through. I'm sure there's still nights where she'll wake up and hear him crying. I'm positive of that. And you know, and she's there. She understands it. She's a really good girl too. And
it takes a special person.
It does, because you're not married. You know, when you remarry after losing a spouse, you're not marrying one person. You're marrying two. You're marrying the person you're marrying, and you're sparing that spouse. And yeah, it's and a lot of times it doesn't work out because the person just finds themselves being compared to the deceased spouse. They find themselves being compared to. That's not how Joanne would have did it. And it's just like, wow, how the hell do I compete with a memory?
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of relationships don't work out in general because people don't know how to have relationships very well. You know what I mean?
It's different though when it comes down to losing a spouse through illness.
Yeah,
you know, there's a 70% divorce rate when couples have a chronic disease. It's a 70% divorce rate. The spouse can't handle it. They can't handle watching the other person go, so they leave. And it's higher when it's a child. But
because people don't grieve very differently. That's very common with the child.
Yeah. Let's see, Thompson over here. Yeah. Yeah, losing a loved one. Yeah. And anyway, you know, I guess, you know, it's. Yeah, I mean, when you lose a spouse in a violent act, I mean, you know, like a car crash or a plane crash. I mean, it's so. I gotta be. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's something weird to say, but man, oh man, I mean, honest to God, I don't mean to sound macabre here, but if I was going to lose somebody, I want it to be fast. I would not want to go through what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
To watch them die inch by inch, day by day. See, this is where I think what happened was, I think that's with Amelia, her memory was doing that to her. She was reliving and when they showed how he died, and it wasn't just a car crash. I mean, he lost his head. He was in the glass came in there and just beheaded him. And it's just the manner of his dying is probably what really affected her psyche too, because it sounds funny, but it's how you die. It affects how you do.
How you live.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting there. I mean, again, speaking for myself, watching my wife die in 2.5 years. I fucked. I know it. I have make no bones about it. I'm a broken soul. I'll never recover from that. And so I can respect. That's what I mean when this movie speaking, because I can respect what she's going through. Every day she's going through that over and over and over, and there's no getting away from it. There's nothing. I mean, you could try to stay busy. You could try to do, hang out with friends. You could try to go with family. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to keep your life going. And maybe this is probably what Amelia did not have. She just had Samuel, and she had her job, and once in a while with her sister. So maybe she didn't have more of an outlet for her. Like we never saw her talk to a therapist. We never saw her talk to a priest. And you just wonder, like, maybe if she had used those tools, maybe the Babadook wouldn't have been able to get in quite so easily, even though it was only 7 years. But 7 years is yesterday.
Yeah.
If you asked Amelia, it's like, it's been 7 years. Her sister said that to her. It's been 7 years. It's time for you to get on. But if you ask Amelia, she'd tell you it was yesterday, not 7 years.
Yeah.
I think the sort of message of the movie, though, in addition to the Babadook represents like grief and stuff, but it's almost like that it represents not dealing with the grief, right? Not processing it. It's like pushing it away, and then it just sort of invades into your life and grows bigger, and then like takes over the way that you're doing shit.
Yes, exactly. And with the worms, that's exactly. I wouldn't say like when she's feeding the worms, I don't think she's putting that. She's not pushing it. She's just learning. You never get over it. You never get trauma. No matter what trauma, everyone's had something horrific happen to them, and no one can judge anyone's grief. But we've all had that moment that, oh my God. And like Patrick was saying, it might be 7 years ago, it might be 20 years ago, but if they bring that up to you, it'll hit you just like it happened 2 seconds ago. And with this, and you can, it irreparably changes you as a person, but you have to fucking accept it. You have to make peace with it as best as us mere mortals can. And that's the scene with her feeding the worms. And that by then she's not pushing it back. She's accepting it in her life. Like, this fucking sucks, but okay, I'm going to accept you. I'm going to learn from you. And I guess that's all we can hope is not that you ever learn anything from horrific, but sometimes you do. Sometimes grief makes you a person, and you see things and you can appreciate stuff. Like if you've been through something horrific, you can appreciate stuff if you take it. Some people can. Not everyone can, but try to find the good in whatever you can. And that's easier said than done, I know, but I think that's what it's really about, is learning to incorporate it in your life and just going, this is a part of me. This is who I am. And the burying it and pushing it away is what's fucking you up. And you can't run from it. Eventually your legs get tired. You can't keep running. Yeah. Your legs get really tired.
I concur.
Yeah.
Sorry. I get a little, probably running on.
No, I mean, this conversation has gone on, like we're discussing M. Night Shyamalan, for the fuck's sake, just like a few minutes ago. So you don't have to like, apologize for anything. By the way, I already went grocery shopping. That's why I haven't
yeah. Oh, good. I was wondering, like, do you need to go? Because I know you have that.
Hey, what did you have for dinner on Saturday?
Pizza.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, and some carrot cake.
Damn. How
Can we
the
still go
the
to
boy? Did the boys get some carrot cake?
No, they just sit around. They collect dust. I never give them shit.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that'll be one of your Thanksgiving cards one day, Ben. You'll take a picture with the boys eating dinner around your table.
We'll see, man. I got a lot of different Thanksgiving cards I got to get through before I get to that one. I'm just kidding. I've never made a Thanksgiving. Last Thanksgiving card I made was elementary school. I like traced my hand out or
something. Yeah, this is great. Thanks for letting us go for longer too, Ben.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
that was a good discussion. Always a pleasure, Jen. I always enjoy your insight on film, so I'm glad that you were here for this one.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Ben, because it's Jen's turn. She's going to pick next month's movie.
Okay. The only thing is, can someone else host? Because as you probably noticed, my internet sucks, and like I think if I would host, it would be a mess.
I
I
can do it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm so sorry to have to ask. I feel horrible. I'm gonna try to get this sorted, but I live out in the country, and that doesn't help in a podink town. And yeah, but summer. I was thinking summer of '84. If you guys wanted to, I mentioned it, and you guys seem kind of interested. If you guys want, I think you'll really enjoy it, Patrick. Have you seen it, Patrick?
No, I haven't. Is it playing on Tubi yet?
Maybe
it might. I think so. I think so. Maybe it's a Shutter. If you have Shutter, do you have Shutter?
Yeah, I don't have Shutter. Let me just check. They don't. Let me check here. Make sure.
Okay.
I got like a really rad release of it. Oh, wait, hold on. I had to took this up because I'm definitely not wearing pants. But
Okay.
That's for your OnlyFans.
Really, right? Check out this rad.
Oh, that's nice.
It's got this super nice sleeves.
That's nice.
Got this.
I love the cover art.
This art on one side, this on the other. Yeah, 4K.
Nice.
Pretty rad.
Yeah, it is, and it's a really good movie too. On top of that,
It's got an M Night Shyamalan type moment in it as well.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. But it's handled a little better, I'd say.
Cool. No, I like it.
Very cool.
Summer '84. Oh, that should be playing on Tubi.
I feel like almost
it might
anything.
Be. I found it at Glass Cage when I couldn't find it anywhere else, and it was on Tubi, and I didn't even think of it. I was like desperate, and I'm like, it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it doesn't have it playing anywhere.
Really? Weird. I guess maybe it's
really weird. It's not showing anywhere where I can see it.
Even Shutter, because it was a Shutter original, wasn't it?
I don't recall. I think it might have been.
Yeah, I'm looking at where you can see where it's playing at, and I'm like, where is it? And it's not showing up.
It's on Apple TV. You can rent it on YouTube. You could pirate it on a million different.
Yeah, I'll look for a pirate site. I'll see if I can do that. Give me a day to look and see if I can find it.
I can send you one, Patrick, if you need to.
Yeah,
I can send you a good site if you need one, Patrick.
Okay.
Not that I ever use it, but I've heard from a friend.
That's right. I'll use it, but then
condone that.
By the way,
'84.
Just as a little,
I thought that movie just came out, but it looks like it's been out for quite a while.
Okay, it came out. '84. Okay. By the way, Patrick, did you watch Alien Earth?
Alien Earth. No.
It had Essie, what's her name from the Babadook? What's her
Uh,
actress?
oh,
name?
Essie Davis. She was in it.
Yeah, she was in it.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that yet.
It was definitely good.
I know she did. I know she did a series that I'm hoping I'll find across at the library because it'll probably get released by Acorn. She was in a series called Miss Fisher's Mysteries or something like that.
Nice.
Her character is set in the 30s. She's like a little private detective, and she did that for 3 years down in Australia.
Very cool.
But I thought she was very luminous. By the way, she was a really pretty girl.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
Yep. All right, sweet. So summer of '84. I guess I'll host it.
If you don't mind,
Okay.
I apologize. It's just, it would be a shit show if I tried it. It would be a shit show. I've tried it with Horror Hangouts and it never works.
No, I don't mind.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. I apologize.
That will be April. That'll be April 26th. Summer of '84 at Ben's place.
I'll be very interested to hear your thoughts, Patrick. I think you'll really like it.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things about that, and I've heard great things about Eden Lake. But it's one
That's
of those movies. Yeah, but
Boy.
that's not IFC though.
Eden
Or
Lake's
Sutter.
rough watch, man. That one's pretty rough.
Which one was
I like
was
that one.
I tell you the one movie that I'm glad we didn't cover because it's like the most overrated movie ever is Lake Mungo. Holy shit, was I bored out of my mind out of that.
Dude, like I know a number of horror people who are like, dude, scariest movie that's ever existed. I'm like,
Oh,
literally not a
was gonna
fucking
say,
thing
blow
happened
me.
in this movie. Yeah.
if that's the scariest they've ever been, I would hate for them to see a real movie.
I remember like Horror and Tosh, do you remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he makes videos anymore, but I mean he made one on Lake Mungo and he's like scariest fucking horror movie that's ever been made. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I like a lot of
I
people
probably would have. I've been more scared by a Casper cartoon.
I mean, I like literally like the half of the shit was a hoax, and then like the other half like didn't really. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Different strokes. A lot of people love that movie. They think it's a masterpiece. So more power to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More cartoons.
It's like it's always fun. It's always fun to meet new people to horror.
Yeah.
where they think everything is scary.
I mean, to be honest, like nothing really happens in Blair Witch Project either, and I still like appreciate that movie.
I love Blair Witch. Blair Witch is awesome.
Yeah, but nothing actually happens,
Yeah, but that's the thing about it. It creeps. It's just a slow creeper.
That's what Lake Mungo is for people too. For some people.
Yeah, but there's nothing happens at all. At least in the Blair Witch Project, they get killed. We see them get killed.
We don't. We just see a dude standing in the corner. We just see a dude standing in like against the wall.
Yeah, I think he's possessed, and he's gonna kill her.
That's what you think.
I don't know, Ben. That snot bubble was pretty horrifying.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I don't really have a
snot bubble was pretty horrifying.
Now, if they thought that Blair Witch 2, they're talking about Blair Witch 2, I might be inclined to go with them and saying, yeah, nothing happens there either.
I kind of liked the Blair Witch.
I know some people who love that movie.
A lot of people love that movie. It was like
I just like the goth girl, Kim Director. She's got some beautiful eyes.
Like Halloween 3 had sort of like a renaissance at some point. Like a lot of times, like people were like that movie sucks, and then like all of a sudden, like people are like, oh, dude, Halloween 3 is the shit. It's like even better than the original, and like
it is.
I don't know that I'd say better than the original, but it's a good movie. I enjoy it.
Halloween 2 is better than the original.
I feel like Halloween 2 has some pacing issues. I do like it, but I mean, I feel like
Halloween 2 has some awesome kills, though.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I'm a part 4 girl. 4 girl. That's my favorite.
I
know, but it's my favorite.
I like them all ish. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but I think like I even enjoy Resurrection on some level. So what do I know?
No, I do too. I used to hate that movie, and that's one of the few I've come around on. Like, I don't love it, but I appreciate it more than I did.
But I feel like Blair Witch Book of Shadows had like a renaissance where it was like a pop-up thing to be like, oh, dude, I fucking love that movie. It's like underrated. So different.
I'm like, so define underrated again. How Blair Witch 2? Okay.
And I really like.
You like Hereditary? Oh yeah.
I like the Blair Witch Project a lot, but then like the last time I watched it, I just had a realization where I'm like, I actually never have to watch this movie again. You know, like I've seen it enough. I've seen it enough. You know? There's only so many times you know I have to watch this movie, and I've hit that number of times. So there you go.
How many times was it? Just so I know for my I guess every number's different though.
I mean,
I've only seen it once.
Oh, only once. Give it a watch.
Yeah,
You be disappointed, dude.
But Kim's director did Inside Man with Clive Owen and Denzel Washington, so we got to see her again in a different movie.
He was there the whole time, bro. Spoiler alert.
What?
He was like in the vault, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's an awesome movie. You want to watch Jodie Foster steal a movie? Watch her in that. She was amazing in that movie. Her and Denzel, fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I've seen the Blair Witch Project, to be honest with you. It's countless times. But yeah. And I've actually never seen Blair Witch Book of Shadows. So who knows? Maybe I love that movie and just I don't know it yet.
Well, I know for one thing. I know I'm gonna give the Babadook.
Velvet has some very distinct tastes, though. They have strong feelings about movies, you know.
They do.
I'm gonna give there's only one other IFC movie that I rated higher than this. I'm gonna give this a 9.5. It's not quite up there with The Dark Song, but it's in the neighborhood. But I give this a 9.5. Mm-hmm. I really liked it.
How about you, Jen? What would you rate that Babadook out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd be 9.5 to a 10. 10's really high, but it's really good and really powerful. And like Patrick was saying, anybody who's ever dealt with loss or trauma, it really can speak to you. I think the people that have, there's a reason why this movie gels with certain people, and it's doing exceptionally well.
I agree. I would probably give it a 9. I would say. A lot of it is like I was so impressed with it because I had very like modest expectations going in, and it was like a really good movie. So like I might knock it down a little bit if I went in with super high expectations and it only like barely lived up to them or something, but I thought it was really well done. I thought the acting was good. I felt like I loved the production design, like that pop-up book I think is beautiful. So I give it a 9, solid 9.
Jen, I'm not sure if you know this. If not, I can send it to you. I tried messaging you on Messenger, but it said that I couldn't send it through. Is your Facebook page still active, or?
Yeah, sort of, but it's better to just get a hold of me through Instagram because I got hacked. They fucked it up. I can get it on my phone, kind of, sort of, but I always tell people if you really need to get a hold of me, either get a hold of me through Marty or Instagram. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of me. Okay. So Instagram would be the best way.
I'm like Facebook friends with Jen like 3 times, and like last time, like when you lost your channel, I tried to message you and be like, I think someone like hacked your channel or something, and I don't think you got it because I didn't know which like one to send to. I sent it to one that I messaged you before, but
I was gonna say, Ben, if you wanted to. I'm not sure. Well, if you go on my channel, Jen, I have the IFC playlist. If you go there, you can see our discussion of Nightingale if you want to see that.
I will. No, I did see the Nightingale. I thought that was a really good discussion. I did see that. I've watched. I haven't watched every one of you guys's, but I watch a lot. I was always in the chat. I probably annoyed you guys, but I always enjoyed listening to you guys talk films. I really do. I think you guys really make some good discussions and talk about interesting films.
You, for the record,
Yeah.
you've never annoyed me in since I've known you.
No, God, no, not at all. No, not at all.
Okay, thank you. Said you guys were really nice. This proves it.
No, we love you and Marty and Velvet too. You guys, I mean, you guys, you and Velvet used to get in there. I just sit there and kick back there watching you guys just go at it. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun watching. And then you and Marty doing your hangout. Oh yeah, we're around too. We're around.
Yeah, a lot of times if there's stuff streaming at work, I just like. Sometimes I'll pop in and say hi, but a lot of times I'll just listen while my phone's in my pocket, and I'm doing shit at work.
Yeah. That's the best way.
All right, guys. Well, shall we wrap it up?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Summer
I think this was a
84,
great
April
discussion.
26th.
Yeah.
April 26th
cool.
on Ben's channel. Summer 84. I'll let Carrie know. Let her know that we're doing and the date. And we'll have Mary back next month as well.
Very cool. I think she'll really like it. I don't know if she's seen it, but if she hasn't, I think she'll dig it too.
I'm sure she will. Yeah, I'm sure Carrie will as well. And it'll be a full house next month for sure. And I can't wait for it. It'll be a lot of fun. And thank you again, Ben, for hosting this one and for
thank you guys
April.
for having me.
Yeah. Do you guys want
it was
to?
a lot of fun.
You guys want to like I don't know, like shout anything out or anything? Talk about what you want or what you guys got coming up.
You go ahead. Go first, Jen.
Me, I don't have anything. I've got a couple of things. I wanted Lisa Loves, which everyone should go check out her channel. She's doing a tag right now, and she tagged me, so I need to get that out. I want to talk about Dolly. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things. I want to talk about that, and there's a couple of others. And of course, The Faces of Death is going to be coming out pretty soon, and I'm super hyped for that. So
when is that coming out?
For those. I don't hold me to this, but I think it's either the 10th or 15th, somewhere in that area. It's this month. So.
I know you're a big fan.
The Face of Death, is that like a documentary from the series?
They're like
they're making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're what? They're making a movie about They're making a movie about the movies.
No, it's like a reboot, sort of like a. Like
yeah.
I don't.
Well, the trailer's on YouTube.
Oh, okay, I haven't watched the
They're all Faces of Death. They mixed hoaxes, but they also had some real shit. They showed one where this guy got killed by a bear. Fuck, they showed that. That came out of his car, and the grizzly bear caught his ass and killed him right there. They filmed it. It was like, damn.
I'm pretty sure that part was not real.
The grizzly bear one?
Yeah.
No, that was real. No, they had a car in the back. This guy got out of his car. He got out of his car. The bear came around there and got him. And the guy was sitting. Well, the guy was sitting like he was down the road. Bro, a long range camera. It was grainy.
Bro, I've seen it. That doesn't mean it's real.
Oh my gosh. I think that was now.
I thought it was just the animal stuff, like the animal tape was real.
Yeah,
they had the one where they ate the monkey brain while he was alive.
That also not real. That's what I'm saying. Like there was some like shots. I think there's like a maybe like a gunshot like
That's what I was going to ask you. The one when he shoots himself in the head at the press conference, that was real, right? Or was it?
Yeah, that was Dwyer. He was like a councilman. Yeah. They showed that one too.
But like almost like
like
95% of the stuff that they showed for humans was not real. They showed like a lot of slaughterhouse stuff and whatnot. But that's I didn't know that when
do you guys remember a site called bestsport.com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all real.
Have you seen the documentary Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix?
No, but I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
It's about Luca Magnotta, who did like was like
Oh yes, I do know the story. Yeah, they caught him. The guys from Best Score caught that fucker for killing the
uh,
cat.
well, the guys from Best Score didn't catch him, but
Well, they turned to their followers. Followers caught him, and then the guy who owned Best Score, he went to the Royal Mounted Police and and showed him, and then he got arrested. Because of his website, he got arrested, but he told them about because he showed he showed the video, and the guy was the guy who killed him had carried him out in a suitcase. And he says, let's find him. It was like the first case of where they do that shit on TikTok. If someone fucks over somebody, they all shame them in public. This is like the first time the guy from Best Score. He says, let's find this guy, and they did. They found him, and it was crazy. It was probably the only one decent thing the guy who owned the site ever did before he went to the dark side.
I mean, I feel like internet sleuths were definitely like tracked him down and everything, but the guy from who ran that site wasn't involved with that. He was just the dude who was hosting a lot of fucking like fucked up content and like refused to take it fucked up content down.
It was funny when he first started this website. He was a normal human being, and he was just trying to show the inhumanity, but be careful what you watch because it could become you. That's what happened. He just slowly got eroded, and he just became what he hated the most. He became what he was trying to expose, and then he finally after the Canadian government was after him, they arrested him a couple of times for obscenity. He finally got rid of the site. He sold it to somebody, and then that person, like, I don't know what happened to it, but it got taken down like 5 months after that. But at the end of it, it was just absolutely just a cesspool of fascists. It just, people were celebrating the content, whereas before people were like, this is outrageous, what can we do to bring attention to it? It was like it had good intentions, but it destroyed them.
I can't really people think that horror people are like non-horror people think of horror people that like horror movies as being like really fucked in the head or like twisted people that like hate shit. And it's really funny because like all the horror friends I've ever known are like the sweetest, kindest people. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
there's like such a big difference between watching like fucking cartel gore video or something and watching the Babadook. It's like such a big difference. Like I can't do any gore videos. Once I watched like a beheading once and it like fucked me up, and I was like, okay, that's the last time I'm gonna watch shit like that ever again.
Yeah.
So I did watch Faces of Death when I was a kid. I thought it was all real, you know what I mean? But it turns out it wasn't. A lot of it was.
The bear one was fake too. How did they fake the bear attack?
I mean, dude, how do they fake any bear attack?
It looked like it looked like a goddamn bear just grabbed that guy, and next thing you know, he's just like dead.
That's movie madness, my friend. Like what? Like, first off, I don't know when you saw this, but it wasn't yesterday. So like, in your mind, it filled in some gaps. But I think what you have like, like some dude being like, "Oh, look, kids, a bear," and then like at some point they cut to a bear like just tearing off a bunch of like weird latex shit off of something. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, people go out there, people do that today. It's like there's this, you're sort of surprised that you don't see it more often when people get out there and get hit by a moose or elk. I mean, people don't have any idea until they go up there and see how fucking huge a moose is.
Oh, they're big and dangerous.
They're huge.
I like there was a shark attack in Egypt not too long ago that was caught on video. Like a tiger shark like ate this Russian kid, and and like I like am so like morbidly curious to watch, but then also like I can't watch like actual horrific shit. I can watch horror movies, it doesn't faze me. Like cut her in half, I guess. I don't care. real shit. Like,
You're the vagina.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't start with
Hey,
the head.
look, Mama, Mark the Clown.
But so like, so I'm always like walking the line. Like, okay, I'll watch a video. Like, I watch this channel Shark Bite. Sometimes it's like a shark scientist who talks about shark shit, and like, I'll watch him talk about that event, and then like, because I'm really curious about it, but I don't actually want to watch this dude screaming for his father as he's getting murdered by a shark. You know what I mean? So it's I have a weird morbid curiosity and also like an overly sensitive demeanor, I guess, in some ways. So
I think walking a lot of fans are.
But some people are also some people like from a different generation, maybe even a little older than Velvet. Like there was a whole thing was like, oh, we're gonna like, you know, as a joke, we're gonna like send this like terrible gore video to like our friends to get their reaction, and like people got like a whole like I don't know group of people were like completely desensitized to gore videos from that, and it caught it like.
That's what happened to the guy. That's what happened to the guy from Best Gore. He got desensitized by it, and then and that allowed the because before he would never let any of the fascist shit come on his page. I mean, you could try to post on it. He take it down and ban your ass, but he got desensitized.
Yeah, it's I mean that will happen. I used to get terrified from fucking horror movies when I was a kid and shit. Like they fucked me up, and now I just like whatever, chew on them like.
They can still fuck me up.
I watch them for comfort, so who knows,
I can.
I do too. I always have.
Yeah.
I still can get fucked up by a good horror movie. Like Martyrs, Dark Song, the Babadook. I mean, there's been some other ones that. Cold July, the one we watched it there, that Cold July about them finding those child pornographers, that was fucked up. Even though it was a mainstream cast and whatnot, but that was still a really disturbing movie. Nightingale. I mean, that was another one.
Takes a lot for me. There was a few. I think the one that unnerved me, didn't scare me, but unnerved me, and I knew it did, was after I got done watching the Poughkeepsie tapes, and I watched it super late one night, and I got up to get a drink, and I'm like, did I lock the front door? Something about someone watching you in your own house, that violation it creeped me the fuck out. That one did it for me, like just creeped me out. And Hounds of Love, I told you, Ben, that scene, I watched it, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Which one was it called?
Hounds of Love.
Oh my God.
It's a good movie. Brilliant. But there's a scene, and if you had a hard time with the Babadook scene with the Bugsy the dog, don't watch Hounds of Love.
That's the weird part. Like, that's I guess another part like of us weirdos. Like, there's some truly horrible shit that happens to humans before that, and we're just like, yeah, dude, I love that song. Great. Like, for some reason the dog stuff is.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that shit with cats. I mean, you get me over there with a cat scene, I'm out.
Dude, I watched Cat Sick Blues recently.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but that has like violence against cats in it.
Yeah, it does.
It what?
That one has like violence against cats in it.
Yeah, it does. Chocolate strawberry vanilla has a cat scene in it as well. But Cat Sick Blues, man, that's a fucked up movie.
I like
it's a good one. It's a good one, but it's a fucked up one.
My girlfriend is a cat lover. She's got 3 cats.
All right.
And
marry her.
And so she loves cats, and she's not a horror person or anything. Like, we watch a lot of horror movies and stuff, but like, I was like, oh, there's this movie Cat Sick Blues, and I sent her the trailer. And she was like, let's watch it. And I was like, okay. And then we watched it, and she was like, I don't want to fucking watch this. So I was like, yeah. So I ended up watching it.
I think the funniest story like that, Hobbs told it. He said he was dating this girl, and they came over to his house, and he put on the Sinful Dwarf, and they watched it, and he said that at the end of the movie, she said, "I don't want to see you again," and broke up with him. Broke up with him over the Sinful Dwarf. I was like, damn. Shout out to the Hobbs.
I saw, by the way, I don't know, Jen, it must have been on an Instagram post or something where you did a post where like, must have been for like Christmas, maybe Jake or Velvet gave you like a Terrifier shirt from.
It was a print. It was a print. Yeah.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Velvet gave it to me.
Yeah. So me and my girlfriend and my two nephews, I flew them out from Hawaii and we went to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, lucky.
It was so much fun. But I got the T-shirt of that print for when I was there.
Neat. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's very cool. I love my print. It's up on my bedroom wall. I sleep over it. I love it. Velvet said, "Yeah, that looked like you."
Yeah, that was super fun. They had the whole Terrifier there. You know, they had so many Art the Clowns running around. It was great.
Mm-hmm. I want to do it one time. I'd love to do it one time.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do it like since we got locked down due to COVID a long ass time ago. Like they had a creep show house like coming up, and I was like, oh fuck, I've been wanting to go to Halloween Horror Nights ever since then. And then I finally was like, yeah, I talked my nephews into coming down for the weekend, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was super fun.
It sounds like a blast.
They had a poltergeist house that was really cool, and they had the Terrifier and Friday the 13th, Five Nights at Freddy's, everything. It was like so much fun. It was just like, you know how you have like all your like, I don't know, it just makes me warm inside when I see like other horror fanatics that are just walking around loving horror, you know?
I know. One of us, it's like Google Gobble, one of us.
Tom's saying that one of his friends lost a girlfriend over a movie too. A Stallone movie? I can understand that. Maybe they must have saw Over the Top. That would do it. What's more cheesier, Over the Top or Cobra?
Cobra
is really
Over the Top.
I say Over the Top too.
I like Cobra. I like Unironic.
Over the Top's is so goofy.
It's goofy, but you know it's about, you know what it is, you know.
It's goofy, yeah. I mean, I just saw the previews of it. He's arm wrestling. I'm like, Jesus Christ! They made a movie about arm wrestling. Oh, okay. All right.
They made a movie about all sorts of shit.
Yeah, arm wrestling. Arm wrestling.
Anytime there's like a fad or anything, it turns into a film, you know.
Yeah, but at least Breaking was pretty tight. I mean, Breaking 2. Pretty cool.
How do you explain Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo then?
Where that movie's Godhead. You can't deny Breaking and Breaking 2. Breaking had Shooter McGavin in it as their lawyer.
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo is like what we call in the game elevated dance film. It's like they found a way to save an orphanage with breakdancing. I mean, that's amazing. So,
oh my God.
Then the Forbidden Dance is the one that they saved the rainforest.
Yeah, the
Lambada. Yeah,
I never saw that one. I remember like I made like, I like had a friend group back in art school, and like I brought a Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo on DVD, and we watched it all together. It was like so much fun. It was ridiculous,
dude. That was epic. My buddy Catfish, one of the movies that he left me was Breaking. So first time I ever watched it, and so I put it on there, and I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, you know what? This is not as bad as I thought. I thought it was just going to be unwatchable, but you know, it was actually really fun.
Yeah, Breaking was not as good. Like as far as like just good movies, like Beat Street, that's where it's at for breakdancing. That's much better.
Beast Street. Okay. Yeah, they did.
Haven't seen that
They
one.
did a lot of it. They had Lucinda Dickey. That was Cannon's Films. That was their go-to girls. Like every time they needed the female lead and they couldn't get a big star, they just called Lucinda Dickey, and she ended up doing it. She did Breakin' 2. She did American Ninja Domination. I think she did
That's a
one
movie.
called, I think it was like Death
That's
by
a movie.
Temptation.
If you want to talk about possession films, Ninja the Domination is about a ninja. It's a ninja possession for this girl gets possessed by a ninja. So I mean,
Yeah.
Marty
How
loves that
badass is
one.
that?
it is like, honestly, have you guys watched it together? You should do like your
He's trying. He wants to do it for a trash fire. I told him he's going to owe me something in return.
then you're going to be like, you're going to watch it. You're going to actually, I think, have a lot of fun. Do you guys watch them together? Like,
Yeah, we do. We watch
whatever.
together.
I think
Yeah.
you'll have a lot of fun watching that movie. It's ridiculous. It's fun.
Okay. He's been wanting me to watch it with him forever.
It's bad. It's bad in the same way that, like, you know, Troll 2 is bad, or
it's
like
not as badass. It's not as badass as American Ninja, but it's all right.
it's more charming than American Ninja because it's a weird, I just see them around with the elevator pitch. Like, no, it's a movie about this girl who gets possessed by a ninja, bro. Like, what do you want? Yeah, it's great.
Oh my God.
Marty got to you guys, didn't he? He paid
No, but
you guys, didn't he? He got to you guys.
He's got some pretty good taste. He probably watched Alien Earth, right?
No, I have not seen. I'm going to be watching. I'm watching Planet Dune here in a couple of weeks. In about a little bit more than that, but maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm doing that. Hop sent me a copy of Planet Dune, which is the Asylum knockoff of Dune. I'm all in for it. I said I'm going to review that. Can't wait.
That's cool.
It's going to be fun. I'm watching the Final Destination movie, the new one that came out. I'm finally going to review that. And
that's
then,
a lot.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I've heard so much about it, and I want to be able to see Tony Todd and hear him hear his scene. I saw, I heard so much about his scene. I miss that guy.
That's
I
probably
miss that guy.
I mean, that's got to be the best sort of like posthumous release, like last film appearance for any horror icon ever, right? I mean, it was pretty touching, like poignant, really, really good. The whole movie was super fun.
It was, but also like it was what he said. I mean, because of what he was saying goodbye, but like, what better advice? Like his advice was just enjoy your life because it goes so quick. I mean, it really was, and then you would respect him and admire him, but it hit differently than if I think it would have been anybody else. Yeah. It really did.
I was, when I heard about his, when I heard about his final goodbye of Final Destination, and he got a scene that's like, it just made me so much more angrier about Candyman, the remake, where he got in there for like 10 seconds, and it's just, to me, and I just wanted to go out there and say, I think Jordan Peele promoted it or produced it, and I would just love to have a minute with him going like, what the fuck were you thinking about? Why didn't you give the man the stage? Why didn't you? You would have saved your movie. I was so amped for that. I was so amped for it. I was so amped for the new Candyman, and then Phil from Phil's Creepy Vids, he's the one that came over and says, "Yeah, I wouldn't do it." He says Tony Todd's in there for maybe like 10 seconds for the entire movie. 10 seconds.
But great line. Tell everybody. I loved that. I actually loved the movie.
I mean, I like the movie too. I mean, I feel like it didn't. I mean, it didn't exactly need him in the way that they.
There's no Candyman without him.
There was a Candyman throughout there without him, sort of, right? So like, it was.
To me, it worked for what they were doing, and it was just like kind of a chef's kiss. He was just a chef's kiss at the end.
Yeah. He was like.
he needed a supporting role. I mean, if he was going to
Right.
pass the banner, if he was going to pass the banner along or something like that, then he should have got a. It's just one of those things. Just like it's because of who he was that kept the franchise alive. It wasn't Virginia Madsen, that's for damn Skippy. But every time we talked about Candyman, it was always Tony Todd, always Tony Todd. There wouldn't be a Candyman remake if it wasn't for Tony Todd keeping the original one in everybody's in the public's eye.
But dude, that's what they said about Robert Englund and Freddy Krueger. But look how amazing that remake was.
Well, What You Would Do was good. I will give it. Like, he wasn't Robert Englund. I can't think of his name. I always forget his name. But
Jackie Earle Haley.
He wasn't bad. Like, he just had too big of shoes.
Awesome.
No one could have done it except Robert Englund.
I think there was a few problems with it.
More than you.
Like it was like a writing problem, a screenplay problem. Like, I'm sure he's a great actor or whatever, but like
he is.
I mean, they fucked up. They downgraded Freddy Krueger from child murderer to child molester. I mean, that's like who can root for that? Like.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing that ruined the Friday. That's the thing that ruined Nightmare for me was the fact that he was a child killer, and here he is popping one-liners and jokes, and everybody's laughing at that, and then going like, "Did you not forget who he was?" And people always forget who he was. He was a murderer. I don't care. How cute he one-liners. It's hard to laugh at a character whose background is a child killer. You just can't get into that a whole yucky thing. That's what I like about Jackie Earle Haley's portrayal was he played him deadly serious, and I appreciated that and I respected that because he's a monster. He's an absolutely stone cold monster. Imagine Jason popping jokes. Hey, welcome to the Love Boat, everybody! I'm going to kill everybody here. Hey, line up for a conga dance. On my machete, come on, really?
That's what those movies ended up being too. I mean, he's not popping the jokes, but he's complicit in a lot of like goofy ass humor in the Friday 13th movies, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't think they did a goofy one.
What happened?
I think the movie that does it right, that mixes both, is Wolf Creek, because Mick Taylor, he's not a child molester, but he does rape women. But he's like the one character I can almost, I always forget that fact. I'm like, oh my God, Mick Taylor! And he's kind of funny, but he's also very sinister. He can really walk both lines of that and does it very well. I am so excited for the new movie. We're supposed to get it this year.
Did you like
which one? Wolf Creek, you mean?
Yeah. I think Mick Taylor, because his character, he is a rapist. They show him, and stuff. So but I love his character. I don't love the rapist part, but I love that character.
I mean, I don't know what happened to his trial, but he did have a rape trial, like in real life.
They cleared him, but it did hurt his career I think that's why it took
the actor got it. Okay. I was wondering about the character when I thought
his character does try to assault, like in the first one. He is gonna,
He's definitely a rapist in the first movie, right?
Yeah. And but he's like a character that can do one-liners, but he can be sinister. One works.
What did you think about the series, Jen?
I love the series. I know a lot of people didn't. Me and Velvet I loved the series. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I thought season 2 was better than the first one.
A lot of people thought that. But
they were both good.
Yeah.
I think the series the one I'm looking for is from Australia is Mystery Road. Ooh. Did you ever see the movie? Oh my God. That movie that's a banger. Holy shit. Mystery Road with Guy Pearce. I forgot the guy's name, main character. Man, that movie is badass to the bone. Ryan Quatain's in it. I remember him. He's in it. I wish I could remember the main actor's name, but oh my God, that movie is great. And they made a series out of it. I think they wrapped it. Man, I think they made it 2 seasons, and I'm always on looking for that. And they did another one that I did get the first series from called Mr. In Between. Oh my God. Australia knows how to make movies and TV shows. What can I say?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
wish.
Mystery Between is a badass. That's a banging series too.
I just kind
That's
of
a
wish there
really
were
good.
still less dogs in their media.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, they
Mystery
make.
Between. I do know that one because Marty, I think I've even watched a little with Marty. Marty loved that show. Marty, now
Mystery
that
Between.
it's ringing. Yes, yes, we watched
Yes.
some of it together. Yeah, we did because Marty
Yeah.
loved it.
Ray Shoesmith. That's the character's
Mhm.
name, and he's just a fixer. And
Yeah.
boy, oof, it's a badass show. I found the first season at the library. I could not believe it. I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
wow. Yeah, it only ran for 18 episodes, 3 seasons. I think they had 18 episodes, but
Mhm.
it's so good. So I'm always I'm
Yeah.
always crossing my fingers, hoping that I can run across the the last 2 seasons.
I'll keep my eye out. If I run across it at a thrift store, I'll send it your way. I'm always at thrift stores. I'll keep my eye out for you.
Yeah, I'll do a trade with you for sure. Yeah, I got
Oh, it
plenty
didn't
to
have to be a
trade.
trade. I found somebody who was a major Chuck Norris fan. The day after they died, I was at a thrift store and I found Silent Rage on a VHS, and I told him I'm sending it to you. So
Nice.
yeah.
Let's see. There's Mary. Mary's gonna be getting a box of I think we're supposed to be doing this on my channel. She got a box of CDs. She does mystery boxes, and the only thing we know for sure,
nice.
every mystery box, we know one thing is going to happen. Mary's going to get Spider-Man movies. I think how many boxes have you gotten
Is that
so
a
far?
thing?
Every box that she's gotten Spider-Man movies. I swear to God, I think Spider-Man movies replaced Titanic for the most overproduced movie.
Nothing wrong with Spider-Man.
Oh my God, you see it everywhere
Nope.
though. The Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, you see them everywhere in the library. Every other week, there's a Spider-Man movie there. I'm like, nope. Every other week.
All right, well, guys, I think we are going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you,
wanna
everybody. Thank you to our looks like one viewer.
Thank you, guys.
2 viewers.
Yeah, thanks, Tom and Mary.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Next month, we'll be watching Summer of '84.
Summer 84.
We'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching.
Very cool.